Yes, we are.
Tell your friends you're listening to the Verhoeven Effect podcast. I'm Conlon.
And I'm Nathan.
We have another very special episode. We have the 2007 movie 30 Days of Night. Nathan, do you have a history with 30 Days of Night?
I believe I watched this on HBO Max, like when I first got it.
Oh, okay. Huh.
The original like iPod
Yeah.
HBO Max, like not Max, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
When they had
So
HBO Go and they had HBO
yes,
Max.
so I believe I watched this on one of those. This was in my True Detective days. It's like, oh, True Detective season 1. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
what's this? And
I want to say I saw this in theaters because I heard some hype about it, but I can't remember.
yeah, I don't actually remember where I heard of it, but I remember like I watched it the first time and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." It's like it's not perfect, but I love how they portrayed vampires.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, this is like these are just organic vampires. This is like if a virus was a thing like that walked around with you." It's like this is exactly what vampires are. I like this.
Well, I think it's also around that because this is like the first. This is around the first like start of the superhero boom. So you have
Okay.
like Spider-Man and X-Men and stuff.
Yeah.
And so they were at this time were making kind of like these smaller independent like gritty like R-rated comic book movies. Because
Okay.
you got like Road to Perdition, A History of Violence, which those are kind of acclaimed movies that you wouldn't expect for based on comic books. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I knew Road to Perdition was. I didn't know about History of Violence.
yeah, and so this is another one. This doesn't. This definitely feels like it came from a comic book because there's a lot of striking imagery, but there's not like necessarily like a lot of pithy dialogue or like character arcs. It's very visual. Um, you do have like very striking moments, but
Yeah.
um, and I guess there's it must have been straight to video. There's a sequel to this I never saw that like I never even heard of till I was looking this up.
No, yeah, I didn't know they made a sequel. Yeah. I mean,
Um,
I found out in my research, but yeah.
yeah, well, I guess it's like it's canonical with the comic books because
Okay. Okay.
there's like a volume, there's a 3 volume set that is 30 Days a Night, and then the next volume where it's like Dark Days or whatever, like where like Stella goes back and like has a book called 30 Days of Night, and then like is in L.A. and like draws the attention of L.A. vampires or whatever,
Yeah.
like. And like that's what that movie is, and that's how it was. That's the chronological order of the story in the comic books as well. But I think it got like a 4 on Internet Movie Database, and that's pretty bad usually. So I didn't bother. It looks. I mean, the trailer make it look competent,
Yeah.
but
I've
any
never
trailer.
heard of it, so and it didn't get any of I don't take it they got any of the actors for that. So
Oh no, it was all.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just straight to video or whatever. Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, well, I guess. I guess that time there would probably be like the start of streaming, so maybe they could. No, maybe. Huh. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. um. Yeah, it came out October 19th, 2007. So just in time for Halloween.
Yeah.
Actually, let's look up. I wonder what else came out that year, or that around that time. Because this is like I don't know, like maybe this was just somewhat known because Josh Hartnett was in it.
Yeah, that might be. The comic book was pretty popular too.
Oh, it was okay.
Yeah, or graphic novel or whatever it was cuz I guess the guy that wrote the was it Steve Niles, the guy that wrote the comic like he pitched this idea in the late 90s
Oh, okay.
and nobody wanted to touch it. And then so he's like, okay, I'll just work it up as a comic book slash because that was a thing back then. And then as once it became known as that, then he went back, and Sam Raimi was like, "This is cool," and he had started Ghost House Pictures.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. I did see like I was looking through the pictures for in the Internet Movie Database section to like pick up on who or what actors, and there was a picture with Sam Raimi there. I was like, what the hell is he doing there? Just horror movie stuff? So okay, I guess it makes sense.
Well, he was supposed to direct this. He liked it so much,
Okay.
but because he started his own production company, he was kind of busy, so he went like chose David Slade to do it.
Okay.
But, yeah, he really liked the. It's like because the guy, the way I understand it, Steve Niles wrote it as a screenplay in the '90s. Nobody wanted it, so then he turned it into a graphic novel.
Oh, okay.
Rewrote it as a screenplay, and then people like. Then there was a bidding war, and then it's like, oh, Sam Raimi and Ghost House wanted it, but then Columbia Pictures was like, well, we'll bring some real money into it and get you some advertising, but they wanted a second pass on the script, which he also had to go over again and do with the other two guys. So, because they did change some things from the graphic novel, I guess, which I never read. There's no reason why. I just didn't follow up on it.
I didn't happen upon it by accident, so I just never read it. So. It opened up #1 when it came out.
Yeah.
But I think the next week Saw 4 came out, so I think it kind of disappeared quickly. So.
Yeah. Some of the mass aggregate of reviews on this, it's almost like 50%.
Yeah.
Which actually kind of surprises me because it's like where this movie's strong, it's real strong, and the weaknesses are kind of like, well, yeah, but again, size and scope.
Yeah,
it's like, that's why we don't have like great character development or anything, because we're just clipping along here.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like a great concept. It feels like a John Carpenter movie in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's
which maybe that's why it goes against it. It's like, somebody's trying to be Carpenter, and like, no. Yeah,
that's what I liked about it was the simplicity.
Yeah. You don't, because you can get into like, I feel like, I mean, like there is like it's like the Eben character and Stella seem to have like an interesting character arc to them, but like it kind of like really only Eben has a character arc.
Yeah.
I mean, Stella like basically like, I don't know, I guess kind of falls in love with him at the end of it, like, but also like, man, 30 days is a long time, and this movie does not really feel like it's depicting the time passage necessarily.
Well, biggest weakness in this movie, it's kind of like, why is everyone nuts? Because they're using ellipses just to like this much, because the title of the movie is 30 Days a Night. Cool. Okay, the concept is in Barrow, Alaska, like you have polar darkness for 30 days because of the Earth's rotation or whatever.
Yeah.
But you forget, it's like, no, that's the applicable title of the time frame here too. It's not 30 days of night, but we beat the bad guys in the first 2 nights. No, it's 30 days. And I don't think it's not clearly explained in the movie enough.
Yeah.
Because there's like things that happen in the movie and people that act a certain way. It's like, I mean, I know these people are under pressure, but it's kind of, you lose sight of the fact, they've been hiding out for weeks. Like they're going crazy. They're under constant pressure. It's like, they're going to do wild stuff. Again, it's not something that I watched.
Because I know it pops up with the title. It says like day 17 or something like that, and it's like, okay, and then like it's like, this doesn't seem like a different day. It's like, well, because it's just night the whole time.
Yeah.
You don't know the passage of days, and so like there could be just little stuff. I mean, I think maybe Josh Hartnett's character like starts off like freshly shaven, and he just kind of grows a beard a little bit throughout it.
Yeah.
And like that's kind of the only things you kind of get, like, okay, time passage. But you need somebody like, I don't know, marking shit with a knife or talking about like, hey, what day is it? Like, I can't remember the last time I did this or whatever. And then
where's all the sewage going? That's those are questions you got to ask. Like, that bucket's got to be getting full by now. This is.
Yeah, I think it's something like when Isaac has one of his Alzheimer's attacks or whatever. Like Stella reminds him, like, hey, don't flush the toilet or something like that, because they'll hear it.
So I guess in actual filming, they scouted Barrow, Alaska.
Yeah.
But they were like, the cast and crew will not survive that. It is as horrible as, because it's like, it's one of the northernmost cities in the world. I think there's like places in Russia that are more northern, but Yeah, they scouted it. They actually filmed this in New Zealand, which is like wild. Oh wow, that fake snow must have cost a fortune. But yeah, they originally, for authenticity, it's like they went there and they just scouted Barrow as if they were going to shoot there, but they were like, it's too brutal
Yeah.
to it'd be hard on the equipment, the actors, because they started filming in New Zealand at 6 p.m. and the shoot ended at 6 a.m. So they were on a complete night schedule for, I think it was three weeks of filming,
Okay.
or it's like 2 weeks of primary filming and then pickup stuff.
Right.
But I was like surprised, like I was in New Zealand, huh? Wow.
Well, I mean, because this sauce around the time. It would have been wrapped up by now, but the Lord of the Rings would have been wrapped up by now. But they had like those credits to like, hey, come shoot New Zealand, and like they already proved that like, hey, like we have crews and stuff here that can do all this stuff. It's super cheap. Like, come on down to New Zealand.
Oh yeah. It looked so good. It was a great looking movie.
Yeah.
And I just never would have thought, yeah, New Zealand. It's like, because I figured they shot it in like Minnesota or something.
Yeah.
Some place where they had actual winter, but it wasn't like -70 with a blowing wind winter. But no, I guess it's really hard to shoot in cold. Everything acts different.
Oh yeah.
And also it's miserable. Like, let's do 20 takes. It's like I can't feel my face.
Yeah. Cue the rain.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So yeah, director is David Slade, who he did a lot of music video stuff, and he kind of got his big break with Hard Candy.
Yeah.
And then he did this, and I specifically remember I watched the Twilight movies with riff tracks because like I was like, well, there's no value here, but like this will make it fun, and like they're ridiculous movies. And he directed like the third one, which
after this.
Yeah, which I was like, okay, I'll just watch it legitimately. I didn't do it with the riff track. And like it's stupid because of it's Twilight.
Yeah.
But for like as a film, it's decent enough, and it has decent action that's like pretty violent for a PG-13 movie, and what is a ridiculous werewolf versus vampire movie when that's already become a tired concept by then because of Underworld and stuff.
But the bank they made on those Twilight movies, they wish they could make money like that on movies. Because I think that one of those made almost $1 billion on like a $60 million budget or something.
Oh yeah.
It was nuts, the money they were making off those.
Well, yeah, I mean that's like, because it seemed like nobody respected it. It just had like a pretty decent following, especially with the books, and that's kind of like how Hunger Games came to be. Because it's like, oh, let's take these young adult novels and kind of make them into, like, decent mid-budget movies that are kind of dark, but for a PG-13 audience. So,
yeah. Let's see, what else did he did? The Black Mirror Bandersnatch.
Yeah, he kind of like, after he did the Twilight movie, he kind of just got into TV.
Yeah.
And he did that. He did the Bandersnatch like choose your own adventure movie, which is an interesting, item unto itself. And he kind of got hooked up with Brian Fuller because he like worked on Hannibal series and American Gods. I'm not because Brian Fuller has a habit of making amazing first season shows and then getting fired and somebody takes over. So
okay,
I'm not sure if like this guy took over 2 times or if he like started, because he's listed as executive producer and he directed some things on both those series.
Okay.
Did a lot of TV, and like his latest movie he actually did was something called Dark Harvest, which the trailer makes it seem interesting, but it's got like a 5.5 on Internet Movie Database, which means it's fine but flawed movie. Like it's a technical execution of a movie, but it usually means it's probably flawed in some ways.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of looks like a bunch of no-name actors, and it seems almost like Halloween combined with Hunger Games, but on a much smaller budget. Like it's Halloween and they have to elect a teenager to fight the Scarecrow monster. So, um, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this. I feel like this guy probably should have done more, and I'm not sure. Maybe he's fine just doing TV stuff and executive producing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But again, he used to be like a music video guy, so maybe he does a lot of like commercial stuff.
Yeah.
Because usually those music video guys like do commercial stuff, and that's where they actually make a lot of money. Because it's like we shot this in a week, and like I made like $6 million on an advertising campaign. So.
Yeah, he's had a lot of interesting credits. Like he did an episode of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
He did a bunch of episodes of Hannibal. 3 episodes of American God. A few Black Mirror episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, this was the guy Sam Raimi wanted because he couldn't do it. So
he has an upcoming movie called Legacy, and there's not a whole lot of information on that. Apparently, it has Angelica Houston in it.
Oh, interesting.
But it's listed as post-production, so presumably it's done. But who knows what that is? So
yeah, who knows? This is the make or break year for Hollywood. This.
Well, I mean, I was surprised about because it seemed like nothing came out this year. But then if you look at the box office, it's like there's a handful of movie that made like way more money than you expected. So
yeah, oh yeah.
I think it was like Zootopia 2 came out. Like I have no interest in it. And I think it made like $2 billion. I'm like,
yeah,
really?
Oh, yeah. That's keeping them alive. Yeah, there's some things that made a ton of money, and then there's some stuff that like.
Yeah, like that Tron Ares movie just completely bombed. It's like, it just lost $250,000, so, or $250 million. So.
Yeah, it was a strange year, and because I'm trying to think of, what was that movie?
I think Weapons was like a top 10 box office, like maker this year, so that's pretty good. So
yeah, I'm trying to think of what movie that I heard about. That cost a fortune, and it was an A24 film, and it had it's one with Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, Marty something?
Yeah, Marty Extreme or something.
Yeah.
Marty Supreme.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know anything about it, but I know it's like A2 spent $70 million on it. And I think it might have just made its budget, but it hasn't even come in wide release yet.
No, it's definitely one of those we're trying to get like Timothy Chalamet an Oscar movie, but
okay.
But I also hear like wildly different things about it. Like
because then the guy went on to review this movie that almost nobody's heard of, and he's like, his acting is great.
Yeah.
But then if the movie's so uneven, it's like, yeah, he might, maybe like you're saying, he might get an Academy Award, but he'll be the only one, according to what these guys said about the movie, because they really expected something odd and beautiful by the way it was marketed, which was almost not.
Okay.
And then they had like a secret, like, oh, it's opening night, but only people we like are here. And it became like an internet thing. Like, we're at this new movie with Timothy Chalamet that cost close to $100 million and no one's heard of it. So they were trying to create a buzz around it.
Yeah.
And they went like line by line by everything that happened. I didn't care at all, but then I was like, oh, now I'm fascinated. What is this?
I heard like stupid things like this is one of these like you just need Harrison Ford to tell somebody like, hey man, just act, just pretend, you don't need to do that shit. But I heard, because I think in Marty Supreme he's got a pair of glasses on, and I heard he intentionally put contacts in with the wrong prescription to fuck up his eyes, so that he actually had to wear prescription glasses to correct how he fucked up his eyes.
That's like next level. I've heard Timothy Chalamet do long form interviews. He seems like a perfectly normal person.
Yeah.
So that's strange. It's like,
he's ambitious. I mean,
yeah, he is ambitious.
I mean, for for like his generation where there doesn't seem to be like obvious movie stars anymore, like he's up there. And he's not like, he's not like, big muscle bound guy, but he's still doing like, well, I'm going to do Dune action movies and weird like indie dramas and weird, even weirder, like, mid budget dramas and stuff. Cause he did something like Bone and All where he's like, it's like him and his girlfriend are like cannibals and stuff like that. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then the director of photography or cinematographer is Joe Williams, who I guess David Slade's a British guy, so with for all it's worth. I don't know what Joe Williams is. I'm assuming he's also British, maybe.
He is from Belgium.
Oh, okay. Because he worked a lot with David Slade. It's like
Okay.
like his first movie he did was Hard Candy, so he did that with David Slade, and then they did 30 Days a Night after that. And then Joe Williams did like Limitless, the movie. He did Hunger Games: Catching Fire, which that's a great movie. I guess he did all the ones at the end. He probably directed the 3 David Slade like American God episodes because he's listed as 3, and so is David Slade. He did his director photography on Red Sparrow, which we've done here. He did a bunch of like Apple TV stuff. He did that one C where it's like Jason Momoa and everyone's blind and they're having big like battles.
Huge battles, yeah.
He did that Finch movie with what's his name?
Tom Hanks.
Yeah, Tom Hanks, the robot like End of the World movie or something like that. And,
Yeah.
oh, he did that recent Hunger Games movie where it's kind of like the prequel or something.
The Chutes and Ladders or something. Yeah,
Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And recently he was director of photography on The Long Walk, which
that's a happy movie.
which I've heard decent things about. So
That's a great book. No, it's very dark and sad.
well, it felt weird that there's like, oh, like here's a remake of Running Man and The Long Walk, which isn't that what Running Man is based off of?
No, The Running Man's based off The Running Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're both what you call Bachman books.
Oh, okay.
Because they were written under the Stephen King pseudonym, because they were considered like too dark and off-brand for him. Or I forget. Yeah, I forget. There was something with the Bachman. Like the Bachman books are a little more raw.
But isn't it a similar kind of premise where it's like, hey, you have to do this thing or we're gonna kill you or something?
Yeah, The Long Walk is it's a bunch of teenagers, and there's some kind of dystopian United States. I mean, it was set in the 80s when it was written, but whatever. And it's you just keep walking until the last guy who can still walk wins.
Okay.
Because if you stop for more than 3 seconds, they just come up and shoot you in the head. And it's something like televised.
Yeah.
But then you get to pick. It's kind of like the Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
Like, if you're the last one left, anything you ask for, we will give you. And
oh, okay.
of course, by the end of it, everyone's tormented and psychologically broken because they walk. I forget how many miles I think the actors walked 600 miles, not all at once, but just because they were just filming them walking all the time. And I guess they had to fake, because it was set like, because a lot of the characters were wearing like like 70s basketball shoes or whatever. So that was kind of the motif. It was sort of a timeless story. There was nothing futuristic about it.
Yeah.
So it was kind of filmed almost as if it was in that time. But they said they had to fake all those shoes, right? Because the footwear we have now is way superior to what we had in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
So you can walk many, many miles effortlessly, where back then, you'd have blisters the size of quarters because you just had like, Converse flat tops and shit, and
your feet would just slide around in there, and
nothing was art supporting or anything. So they had to make shoes like that, but like built around modern shoes, so the actors weren't bleeding from their feet. And I haven't actually watched the whole movie yet. I read the book because that was
is it streamable now?
No, I don't know. I just read the book. I mean, it should be.
Oh, okay. You said you hadn't watched the whole movie, so it made it sound like you watched some of the movie.
Oh, I watched some of the highlights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's to see like, what does this look like? because it's interesting to see Mark Hamill as the just psychotic colonel that's in charge of the thing. But yeah, essentially it is kind of, it's like, yeah, you have to survive the contest. Because I think there's only one Bachman book that you can't find anymore, and it's essentially about, because it's a school shooting set in the 70s, so I think that one disappeared. There's another one called Road Work, where a guy just starts having an affair with like a 15-year-old girl, and he's like a 40-year-old man, and like that one's fine. But some of that stuff raced through a lot of Stephen King books from the cocaine days.
Yeah.
So that was just normal back then. But
yeah, everyone always talks about that scene from It. It's like, wait, that's in a book?
Yeah, I remember reading that book, and I was like, what, should I be reading this? I was like 12. It's like, should I be reading this? This is crazy. But everyone was right. The only guy that wasn't doing that was, at that time, that was a contemporary, was Dean Koontz. Dean Koontz always had virginal characters. If anyone was having sex, they were evil. Understood to be like, the bad guy wants to have sex and he's bad. But Stephen King books, it's like, game on, it's get the but he admits, he goes, yeah, cocaine wrote a lot of those books, because he said, if you don't like some of my early books, good for you, because I don't like a lot of them either, because I don't even remember writing some of them. So it's like, all right. That's why rehab and AA plays such a big part in some of his later books, because that's literally what he did, because he was like, well, I'm going to live to the ripe old age of 30 if I keep this up. So and also because Stephen King was very sickly child. That's why he has this insane imagination and stamina for writing. So he really wasn't built for like Studio 54 or whatever it is. So yeah, he had to cut all that out.
It's written by Steve Niles, Stuart Beattie, and Brian Nelson, which is one of the guys, or two of these guys actually wrote the comic book.
Steve Niles, I think, wrote it, and then the other, nope, there's just Steve Niles. The other credit on there is the animator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
because all these guys have like a lot of like TV credits and stuff like that.
Well, Steve Niles did the original Nobody Wanted, then he made it into a comic, then he made it into a screenplay. Sam Raimi liked it and just took it as is, and then when Columbia Pictures signed on, it's like, we want to modify it a little bit. But everyone got approval on it. So, because Steve Niles was happy with the changes they made. So I think, because it does differ from the comics in some ways.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like I read one thing where it's not actually, the Wikipedia is not that detailed about the movie or about the comic book, other than like here's the other volumes. But I guess there was one thing, like when the vampires get like ashed by the sun.
Yeah.
Like if you just drop blood on them, they'll apparently just like come back to life. So.
Yeah. Yeah, they made these more how'd they explain it? They made these biological vampires.
Yeah.
There is no magic about these guys at all.
Yeah.
They just they have a virus they can spread, which turns people into monsters or vampires, and they can jump high and run exceptionally fast, but they don't like turn into bats or, all that other stuff. There's nothing magical about it. They're just evil. That's their magic, is they're just magically evil. So
Stuart Beattie must have done a pass on it. He's got, he wrote Collateral, which we've done that.
Okay. Was that a Columbia movie? He might have been a Columbia house writer then.
Maybe. And he did a couple of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Tomorrow When the War Began? That's like an Australian action movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like an Australian movie where China invades Australia.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Australian Red Dawn.
Yeah.
Except nobody has any guns and everyone's running for their lives most of the movie.
Yeah, there's another movie, Australian movie like that, where it's like kids in the woods, but like aliens invade the city or something like that. And I can't remember what that one's called. Or maybe I'm confusing them. Or maybe they're the same movie.
Is that the one where the Django Fett, like the guy who plays Django Fett, like teaches them how to survive in the woods?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was something like that, yeah.
And then there's Brian Nelson, who might just be like David Slade's writer, because he wrote Hard Candy.
Okay.
and then he did a lot of TV work. He wrote like Devil, that like
Oh,
evil.
the Shyamalan elevator movie.
Yeah. Well, he
Yeah.
just Shyamalan just produced that. He didn't direct or write it apparently.
Oh, I thought he directed that one.
Let me look it up. I got it right here.
Could be wrong.
No, it was John Eric Daldal.
Hmm.
Oh, but M. Night Shyamalan's a co-writer. It's okay, so that made some sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Seemed very Shyamalami.
He wrote a couple episodes of Altered Carbon. He wrote an episode of Night Flyers.
Okay. That was an odd one.
And then, yeah, that was the George R. R. Martin thing, where he tried to sell that on purely the name alone. Because I don't know, the trailers made it look kind of cool. And it's like, I was like, Nathan, is this cool? And it's like, nah, they fucked it up. So I was like, all right.
No, they screwed it. Read the book. The story's cool. It's like kind of a novella.
Yeah.
And it's there's something. Yeah, there's something about it's really good. The novel is really good. It seems dated and cool at the same time, kind of the way it's written, and I think that's what he wanted to do.
And then this guy has this is like a weird credit, and it's like a new thing. Like I don't know if it's new to Internet Movie Database, but they're starting to credit people for podcasts.
Oh, good, yeah.
Because there's like a couple podcasts where they'll take like unproduced screenplays and just read them, and then they'll give the writer credit, and then it's like a writer who's been dead for 30 years suddenly has like, oh, like here's his podcast writing credit. It's like, what? It's like, okay, I guess that's technically true. So.
Hey, as long as everyone gets paid, I'm fine with it.
Oh, I don't know.
At least I'm going to tell myself they're getting paid. I'm not going to do any further investigation.
Do you want some oats? Here's your oats code for using your screenplay. So.
Yeah. Here's a thank you from us to you, and it's just a thank you. But
But he's credited as a writer on a podcast series called Agent Stoker. He's written like 36 episodes. It's been running since 2021 apparently. So.
Okay.
No idea. So.
No, that's such a huge sphere. I couldn't even touch on it.
Yeah, there's some.
I don't even know what the best podcasts are anymore. The number ones. I just listen to the things.
I mean, it's the same ones they've always been. There's no new number one podcast. So.
Oh, okay.
Unless somebody, it's somebody who's already famous. If they come out, they decide like, oh, I'm going to do a podcast, then that gets famous, and it's basically famous because the people are famous, not because it's good. It's just like, it's famous people doing this.
I've been listening to the same ones for 15 years, and they really haven't changed. So,
but I mean, like, I always find it like technically it's interesting, like these podcasts where it's like, oh, we're just gonna like get friends together and do like full on like, like actor sessions and like written like. Screenplays or teleplays or radio plays or however you say that.
Yeah.
And like, it's like, that sounds like cool. This is like an expansion of the medium. But then like, anytime I listen to it, it's like, nah, never mind. It's like, I'd rather have just free form live podcast content because it just seems more natural than like, produced podcast content.
Yeah.
That's like lesser than like what you would get out of like an Audible book. So
yeah, it's trying to fill a niche that it's like that are well filled on both ends.
Yeah,
it's like we're gonna be that thing in between. It's like nobody wants that thing.
Maybe they do. Again, I don't know if I'm also not listening to the best podcast or the most famous podcast.
Well, I'll tell you,
there's so many podcasts that like on my feed that I just never listen to anymore. Like. It was funny, like Tom Segura came out with a new comedy special, and just everybody torpedoed it, and like I guess, and the way I'm not sure if it's true or not, but the way they talk about him is like basically he got rich, and I guess when I didn't even know his dad died, but I guess like his dad left him like a bunch of money, and so now he just like he's rich and does not care like about and is like completely unrelatable now and doesn't care about any part or is like has no compassion anymore.
Well, I know his wife had some like almost terminal phase like health problem.
Yeah.
And that always makes you nuts too, because like it's not just his wife, that's his podcast partner, partner, everything. And she's still alive.
Yeah.
But I know that like some really bad shit that was not being talked about went on, and then it was talked about. It's like, and but it was said in a funny way. It's like, well, like, it looks like my boobs aren't going to kill me, or something like
Yeah,
that. And it's like, okay, that'll change your personality.
yeah.
That'll give you a real F the world attitude, because it's like, oh, my only friend's gonna die. I hate everyone.
Yeah.
And then you gotta try to pull out of that, and it's like, oh, look at all the damage I've done along the way. Wings are almost burned off the plane. How am I gonna pull out of this? But I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, there's a reason I stopped listening to them like 10 years ago, because I mean, they did like, I mean, you can get away with it if it's live, because a lot of popular podcasts do this, where they just like look at like, oh, what's trending in like, what's a trending viral video, and then let's comment on it. You know, it's like, you know, the dumbest form of content. So,
Yeah.
And like they just did that for like the first hour on every episode, and it's like,
Yeah.
this isn't good. And then the other, then
Only
like,
good. It is good sometimes, because the way he describes it can be funny.
yeah.
But then sometimes it's like, well, this is the third decapitation video in a row. I don't know how much of this I want to think about all the time. But
And then there's what is it? Yeah, and then like they talk about like all the shows they sell out, and like that they're just like patting themselves on the back to be like, look, you know, look what professional and great comedians we are. And then like, oh, and they have a new special come out, and you watch it, and it's like, this isn't that special. This actually sucks.
yeah, sometimes you outgrow things, and then sometimes you run into people where it's like, man, I wish they would play in the Metro Detroit area. I'd go pay to see them. And then those guys disappear. It's like, where's their podcast at? That was funny, and it's gone. So,
What is also weird? There is a new Patton Oswalt special out. It's only on Audible. And it's good, but it's not like, oh, this is like a new special from Patton Oswalt. It just seems like he did a good set of whatever he's doing recently. It doesn't seem codified, but they put it out anyways. But it's
yeah,
it's still like Patton Oswalt. It's like Patton Oswalt doesn't like necessarily have the, I guess, the influence he used to, but he's still like a good comedian. He's not like Carlin, where he like finds a new way to reinvent himself like every 2 years, but he's still like a competent comedian. So, and I still like him, so that's good.
to be honest with you, I'm surprised he survived the death of his wife.
Yeah.
Because that was like, I remember when I heard that, is like, is this one of their goofs? It's like, nope, that's serious. And it's like, oh, that's awful. What a nice guy. That shouldn't have happened to him.
And I also feel weird because like now basically his daughter's like, you know, like 16. It's like, oh shit, his daughter's like a teenager now. That's weird.
Starting to feel old now.
Because like when his wife died, I think she was like 8 or something like that, and that's kind of how I remember her. It's like, oh shit, she's a teenager now.
Yeah, I remember like him talking on one of his comic albums about, I conceived a child. You know how he does that weird stuff.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about that kid before they were born, and now they're like a teenager, and it's like, that's crazy.
Podcast
yeah.
drama.
30 Days of Night, yeah.
Yeah, it's a comic book, and yeah, and I can't remember what the no, I didn't see it. It's the sequel.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even see that in like a red box, so I don't know. That must have failed horribly.
Yeah, I did not know about it until I was doing research on the movies.
Well, let's see what Internet Movie Database gives it. They give it a 4.3 out of 10, so that's probably less than competent. Usually for Internet Movie Database, if it's a 5 and above, it's probably like 5 probably means is usually like it's more of like a 7 on other scales, because on some the way people think about things is more like kind of like, you know, grade level, where it's like, you know, like, oh, C is passing, so 70 and above means it's like an acceptable movie. But on the Internet Movie Database, it seems like people use more of the scale, so it's like really like a 5 is like a competent movie that's flawed. Anything below that basically means like, oh, this is an incompetently made movie.
Oh, okay.
Like there's a lot of 5 movies out there where it's like, no, they completed a production. this is professionally made. It's just not good. It's, um, also, like, yeah, I don't like the director's Ben Katai, and he's also like an actor in the movie. So
Oh, okay.
don't know any people, and they recast the Stella role. So
Yeah.
although I do, yeah, I do know, yeah, the person they cast her with is like, you know her, or at least she's been in like a lot of TV. So, so yeah, we'll get into it. We got Act 1. We got titles: Barrow, Alaska, northernmost town in the U.S., isolated in 80 miles of roadless wilderness, cut off every winter for 30 days of night. Which this place is just up here because there's oil up here, I'm guessing.
I think so. Yeah.
Is that the reality of it too? So,
That's. I mean, I've got it. I don't know what else you do in Alaska. I know 2 people from Alaska. They work in oil, so it's like
okay.
I don't know. I guess there's moose hunters, professional ones. I don't know.
And like precious metal stuff up there, you know, that's probably had the gold people get gold. They always
Gold
go
Rush
with
crew.
gold,
Yeah.
They're all
I gotta
like,
buy a $500,000 tool to find an ounce of gold, and I'm not an alcoholic anymore. So, not yet. Just hang on.
we see a guy in a parka stares at a boat just off shore, like it's like stuck on ice or something. I'm not sure. This looks really cool, but like,
Yeah, it is a cool. Like it looks like a freighter ship from like the 30s.
yeah.
It's just mysteriously there.
Which this stuff it does well because it's, you know, like a mid-budget movie. Do you know I'm guessing this is like 50 million or something like that.
30 million.
30. Okay, less than that. So
Yeah.
so there's a lot of like cool shots like this, but you know, it's like, okay, that's just a matte painting, but it still looks really good. It's like very framed very well. So
Well, the color palette of this movie is gray and black.
yeah, I think this probably does the bleach bypass thing.
Got to, because this has the most narrow color arc in it.
Oh yeah, and the blacks in this movie are very deep. The colors, you know. It makes, because like the sheriff vehicle is black, and it's like this, you know, 2001 Chevy Blazer, and it looks awesome in this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I wouldn't necessarily describe a Chevy Blazer as like, especially like a 2001 as being an awesome looking vehicle, but like it looks, the way the color kicks in here like makes it look really cool. So
Yeah.
The guy walks inland, and it's like a desolate winterland, and then he climbs atop a hill and he sees a town. So that's Barrow, Alaska. And then we get titles: The Last Day of Sun. Then we cut to a couple of sheriffs look over a smoldering pile of satellite phones.
Yep.
So, but there's also a cell tower, so this could just be phones in general, I guess. But they specifically say satellite phones, which I guess, you know, in places like this, you need things like that. So
Yeah, I don't think you have a lot of cell towers around there.
we get Eben Olsen, played by Josh Hartnett, which Eben's like a weird name. I don't think I've ever heard that name before.
I actually thought it was Evan the first time I watched the movie. It's like, does everyone have a speech impediment? And then I realized, oh, it's Eben.
And I didn't know if like maybe it was like some weird take on Ben or Benjamin or something like that. So I don't know where that comes from, but they try to suss out why somebody would do this, and they're wondering if it's just like a prank to say like a fuck you to their parents. And even Eben's like, well, that'd be a pretty good prank.
Yeah.
Because yeah, what's about to happen is like basically almost the entire town is about to leave for the 30 days of night coming up. So, which I don't know, is that what actually happens there when this goes on?
I mean, there is a thing, because it's not called Barrow anymore. It has a native name.
Oh, okay.
This real quick. So I was just going to look this up because I believe I heard it's actually, to be accurate, it would be more like 69 days of night.
Oh, okay.
But depending on, but see, that's yes, it is now called. Can't think I can pronounce it. Oh man, there's a lot of weird clashing continents here. UTQIA GVIK. Yukiavik is the phonetic pronunciation.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up there. It's
Okay.
like, Alaska, and then it goes up, and it kind of comes to a point.
Yeah.
Okay, it's on that point. So this is. I'm trying to figure out about because the way the white or the guy explained it to me, who's there, is it's like it doesn't feel like you're just under an oppressive curtain of darkness for weeks. What happens is it's like the sun comes up on the horizon, it makes a quick circle and goes back down.
Yeah.
But you get like the perception of the sun, but it's just very far away, and you get like 2 hours, and then it goes right back down.
All right.
Now he's not up in Barrow; he's like more in the middle.
Yeah.
But he was saying it's like, oh yeah, he goes, that's not really the bad one as long as you take lots of vitamins. He goes, the one that screws him up is the white nights, the reverse effect.
Oh yeah,
where it's like
day all
just
the
30
time.
days of day. And because I remember I called him once, and there it was like, because they're on like Pacific time, I forget.
Yeah.
But it was like midnight or whatever, and I hear like the crack of a ball bat and people cheering, like, what the hell are you doing? It's like, oh, we're playing baseball, no one can sleep. It's like, oh, okay. That's crazy. But he says like the white nights are actually for him personally worse.
Yeah.
Because he works a like regular scheduled job. He doesn't do like the 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off kind of shit. He has to do stuff like on a regular schedule, which he prefers, because that 2 weeks on and off after 2 wives, he's like, that schedule doesn't work for me. But he said, yeah, it's just blacking out your room with like stapling carpet over the windows so you can sleep when it's just full sun, is like, that was actually worse for him. Yeah. But he says, yeah, it's the sun makes an appearance, but it's very brief, and it also seems it's a strange diffused light.
Yeah.
It's like seeing light at the end of a tunnel where it kind of makes a little circle and goes down. That's what he said. He goes, up, it's night again. But yeah, he also says you really get an appreciation for the bizarre orbital mechanics of Earth when you live in a place, because you're like, yeah, we are just on a planet rolling around a sun. Like, there's no like regularity here. We go from one thing to another. And he's also says, like, consistent -20 is an experience everyone needs to have for 2 weeks in their life, because it sucks. It's like, go to flush your toilet and you hear like, what's that clunking sound? It's like, oh, that's the pipes freezing. It's like, we're inside a building that's heated by steam. Doesn't matter. Oh, God. Get the hell out of there. He's like, where else am I going to make $250,000 a year? Good point.
So you got Billy and Eben here watching the sunset. It's like the last sunset. And
yeah.
And then Billy talks about like, I brought Peggy here on our first date. And then Eben just kind of like laments on it. It's like, yeah, we all did, saying like that's what. And then there's a funny correction here. It's like, I mean, yeah, we all brought our first date here, not Peggy. Yeah, it's like, I know what you mean, man.
Yeah, because isn't the law enforcement in this town like a family business?
Yeah, like, well, Jake's there doing something, and the grandma's like running dispatch or something like that. So
yeah,
it seems to be a family thing. Although I don't know where like Eben's parents are.
That's one of the things in this movie I either like about the way they wrote it, or I'm just looking into it more, because between him and his brother there seems to be a bond, like a kind of a, not a deep, but for this movie it's like, yeah, they're definitely brothers and there definitely seems to be a bond, but they never talk about their parents.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they either died in some horrible Alaska way, or they just abandoned them. I don't know, but I'm assuming they died.
Yeah.
It's they seem like brothers that are like, it's
well,
just
I mean,
us.
Well, yeah, I don't know necessarily the age difference, but it does seem like Eben is like parenting his brother rather than being his brother. So
yeah.
So yeah, they watched the last sunset for, that's going to be there for 30 days. We cut to Billy changes the population sign, which like goes from like 632 to like 132, so like 500 people leave. Then we cut to Stella Olson is doing inventory. She's like, she's a fire marshal for the town, or is it like for the area? She's like, yeah, she has like some sort of like area she's in charge of, and she's got to do inventory and then catch a plane to get out of here before.
Yeah, I couldn't exactly tell if she was working for an oil company or doing a municipal job.
Yeah.
She seemed like a safety like enforcement person, but it's like, is that for the town or the oil company? Because up there, that's like the government and the oil companies almost seem like the same thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, we provide the water and food, and it's like, oh, you're a utility? No, we're a private corporation. But,
well, in the movie they call her a fire marshal. So that sounds like a government position.
yeah,
but,
okay, that probably is.
But but also seems like she's probably doing fire marshal work for like 500 miles or whatever.
Yeah, she's like a Mountie. She has like 1,000-mile patrol range or something. Yeah.
So yeah, she needs to do inventory before needing to get on the plane to leave, or she needs to catch the last plane out of there. Which I don't know how big this plane is. To be getting 500 people out of it. Well, presumably all people have already left, but they make it seem like the last plane out. And then we also mentioned that her and Eben have separated, which we don't. Which everyone's like, yeah, we don't know why they did it. And I think what they only hint at is like, what, she wanted to have kids and Eben didn't.
Yep.
Which maybe that hints at maybe his parents are dead and maybe that's why he doesn't want kids or something like that. So.
That's what I got out of it. Is like there's something about his past that's never explored by the way.
No.
I mean, that's a lot. That's some of the thing. See, that's one of the things I liked about this movie is the things mentioned and then moved on from.
Yes.
And why? Is it bad writing or is it because they're being attacked by monsters? Time to reflect. I like that answer. It's like, tell me about your childhood. Well, let's fight off the demon things first. Maybe we'll circle back to that at some point, but it is also a sad story, which is like the arc of this movie. It is just a sad story that continues to tell itself.
Yeah.
There's no happy resolution to this, which sometimes I appreciate that.
But yeah, there's this is kind of a fill in your blank movie, which maybe like people didn't accept it that way and they filled in the blanks with like intentionally bad things. Like, we're not giving this movie the benefit of the doubt. So, and also like, Josh Hartnett isn't like the greatest actor, but he's like, I don't know, he's like he has kind of that Keanu Reeves likability to him. So
yeah,
and he like disappeared for like a decade, and now he's kind of like back and like, I barely recognize him because like I'm not sure if he like beefed up or something. He's like older and slightly bigger, but he's still Josh Hartnett and he's still like in shape and all that. But like he showed up in what's the atomic bomb movie? Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer, yes.
I was like, oh, that's Josh Hartnett, and he also like showed up as like the like very like uncomfortably likable stepdad in
Trap or something.
No, the bear.
The bear,
okay. Trap. That's where he's like the serial killer, and he takes his like daughter to like a pop concert, but then it's a setup for him. I think that's isn't that a Shyamalan joint? I think like
yes,
that.
Yes, it is.
Okay. I heard like almost decent things about that movie, but I didn't watch it because I just don't trust Shyamalan anymore. So
it's not bad.
Okay.
It's not.
Is it like a good premise, and then it just like just an acceptable movie at the end of the day?
Yeah, I mean, everyone involved does a good job, but it's just the story. It's not one of those stories where I'm just locked in.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're doing this now, and I'm like, oh, squirrel, and then wait. The movie. Yeah, it's no Signs, that's for sure.
Okay.
I'm waiting for Shyamalan to make another Signs. I don't think I'm gonna get it, but I keep hoping. Yeah, he's been married to. Josh Hartnett basically moved to England.
Okay.
And he has 5 kids with his wife.
Oh, okay. So. Yeah, because he did that Penny Dreadful show for like 5 or 4 seasons or something like that. So, which I hear good things. I think I've only watched like 4 episodes or something like that. I think it was like a Showtime show that was like, kind of a violent occult movie in London or something like that.
Yeah.
Or TV show, not movie. Then we cut to see a bunch of groups of people leaving town, and like people like board up their like houses and stuff because there's not like I'm not sure if they know it's coming or they just anticipate that or if this is just a part of the cycle, but like eventually there is a blizzard that comes through.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if like everybody already knew that or that's just, that's what you do to prep your house when you leave, so, weird crap doesn't, a window gets, a rock gets thrown through it through the wind or something like that, and then your house freezes over or whatever. So,
Yeah, I think they're prepping for the extreme cold.
but also like everyone also has like multiple generators and all this stuff. So,
Yeah.
then we have a scene where a guy kills a bunch of barking dogs. We don't see the guy, but we're pretty sure he's mentioned as the stranger.
Yeah.
So, then we cut to Eben talks with Bo, played by Mark Boone Jr. He's kind of a character after you've probably seen him in a bunch of things. He was like big in, crap, I always forget it. Sons of Anarchy.
Yes. Yeah.
That's kind of like one of his bigger ones. I remember he was in Vampires, which is kind of ironic. He's the guy that gets split in half at the door.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've seen him in a bunch of stuff. He's good in this movie. So, he's working on a truck that's like leaking oil, or is it carrying oil? I don't know what's going on here. But Eben says he needs to cite him, which pisses off Bo. He's like, "You don't need to do anything, man." And like, isn't that why we live out here, for a bit of freedom? So, but then Eben gets back in the car with Billy, and Billy's like, "Man, why you don't need to do that?" And Eben's like, "No, this guy is intentionally trying to seclude himself, and's like giving him the citation reminds him that he's a part of the community, so he tries to spin it around like, it's not like he's writing the citation, but it's not like he's ever like enforcing it or calling in like a fine or anything like that. So."
Oh, okay.
Or that we know of. I don't know. It's an interesting thing. But then we cut to Stella's driving to the airport when she gets T-boned by some like heavy equipment. Was it the trencher, I think?
Yeah. What did they call that thing? Didn't they have a name for it?
Yeah, I think it's a trencher. It looks like
trencher?
Okay. Basically, it looks like a backhoe with a giant chainsaw on it. So.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird. It's like, are they looking for landmines with that thing? What are they doing?
So yeah, she gets T-boned, but she gets to the airport, so she calls Eben, which Eben's like reluctant to pick up the phone. And yeah, we have all the like old like flip phones and Nokia stuff here going because it's only 2007. So I don't know. I don't actually know when the movie takes place, but that's the era of these phones. So. But Eben sends Billy out to get her because he's like, because it seems like Eben wants to talk to her and she doesn't, and when she doesn't like necessarily like respond to him directly, he's like, all right, well, I'm sending Billy out there. I gotta go look at a thing. We cut to it's finally night, and Eben looks at the dead dog scene. He says this wasn't done long ago, and that he'll find the killers. Then we cut to Billy.
Those are like sled dogs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they're basically. This is another thing I like about this movie. They're slowly building the concept in your mind that like, oh, there's no way out of this.
Yeah.
It's just, this is a dark forest they can't go in once all the planes and helicopters and dogs. It's like, because there's no driving out of there, which is true. You cannot drive out of there. As a matter of fact, they don't even have paved roads there. It's just hard pack.
Yeah.
Because of the permafrost, you can't lay down asphalt and stuff because it just melt.
Oh, okay. Huh.
So, yeah.
Billy picks up Stella late, which I'm not sure if this is on purpose. So, then we cut to Eben gets back to the station where his brother and grandma are working. Then we cut to Stella misses the plane. We introduce a metal grinder thing.
Yeah.
Which is like a spinning wheels of metal teeth, and like, I mean, this is a real thing, but it's like, basically in the middle of this place, and like no safety guards or anything like that. It's just like everything falls in here. So, I think this is, what is this place? It has a name for it. Was it, crap, what did they call it?
Utilidor.
Yeah, the Utilidor, which I didn't know what that meant.
Basically, it's a shortened for utility corridor.
Oh, okay.
So it's where the town's power is generated.
Okay.
But because it's so freezing cold there, all the steam and everything, all the pipes are underground.
Right.
So it's an underground utility corridor.
Huh. Okay.
They call it utilidor, which is actually what they call them. That's a real thing.
Okay.
Because most places in the continental U.S., you don't have to put all your major stuff in the ground.
Right.
Where else do they do that in the those cities in Russia that are in the arc? They do the same thing in Russia,
Yeah.
and I can't think of the
Like
name of the
Arctic
city.
Circle and stuff like that.
Yeah, like Ekaterinburg or
Oh,
places where you have to light fires under your cars to get them started.
okay.
Yeah,
Where the hell's
because everything's steam heat in those situations. That's why you have to do that.
Yeah.
Because you can't like run like a conventional like hearth flame heaters like we have, because they just wouldn't.
Well, also like
they'd be running constantly.
with like steam heat, you can like because it's under pressure. Because I guess it's steam, so I guess it doesn't matter. So it can be above. It can be like above 212 degrees, so it's just very hot. So
Yeah,
it
I think it also keeps the air moist too.
Yeah, well, it'd be very hard to freeze those pipes because one did have to like. You'd have to convert all the steam into liquid and then freeze it, which that's just a lot of energy for so it's basically not going to happen.
Well, there's entire buildings that are just heated like that up in those areas.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a temperature gauge in your room. It's just there's just pipes of steam running through the walls. Well, if it shuts off, you'll know because you'll be dead. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. And they only get what was the one guy, the place he was, it only got to 60.
Okay.
That's all it could do. So you just sleep in sleeping bags and stuff.
Right. We also like show that someone like ripped apart a helicopter.
Yeah.
And so we see like bits of that. We don't see the helicopter, but we just see like the telecom, like electrical equipment and telecom gear just like thrown in the trash and beat and ripped apart. Then we cut to there's a guy at like some telecom station, and then the power goes out. We hear shrieking in the distance, and the guy goes outside. He gets surrounded by vampires and bit to death. So
yeah,
which they haven't called them vampires yet, but I know what they are. So we finally have even though it sets up the thing like, oh, it's 30 days a night, and then like here's vampires, and that's what's interesting about it. It's like, okay, what's vampires' weakness? It's like the sun. It's like, what if there's a place where there is no sun for a bit? So it's a very good premise. So I think I had a premise for a vampire story about like, because I think like maybe you need like a supersonic jet, but like you could like run away from the sun with an airplane. And have vampires in a jet running away from the sun constantly. So
yeah, they did. There was some weird. What was that mini series called on Netflix? It was a European one. It was basically the sun was killing everyone.
Yeah.
So these people were flying around the earth on a plane, and they had to keep refueling the plane and keep flying to beat the sun.
Yeah.
But eventually, like whatever the radiation was like denaturing the fuel and stuff in the ground. So they had to fight, because the only way you could live was in deep caves or underwater, and they had to find a way to live.
Huh.
Or it was some military base they found. There were soldiers in there.
Okay.
And then the sequel, everyone in the base starts killing each other because they're just going insane. Because you can't, because the Earth is like being basically microwaved by the sun.
Yeah.
And then there's some weird sub story like we caused that, and then I don't think it ever followed up. So I was like, okay, I don't know where that was a weird story.
I just know like when I've taken a plane like west, it's basically like the sun doesn't move.
Yeah.
So,
like you could have submarines full of vampires.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it didn't really make a lot of sense because it's like, well, you just need to get them out of sunlight. You don't need to run from the sun, but it just.
What was the movie with Willem Dafoe and Sam Neill, and it was about everyone was a vampire.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's
it called Dawn Breakers or?
Yeah. Well, I can pull it up. I know the people that made it. They made a movie called Undead, which I remember because it has the 4-barreled shotgun thing. Daybreakers.
Now that was a weird world adapted, because you just had cars that were completely blocked all ultraviolet radiation.
Yeah.
So you could press a button and your windows were blacked out.
Yeah, because the Willem Dafoe character like was a vampire, and then like I forget, like he gets in a car wreck and flung into the sun, and then it's like combine that with water, it cures his vampirism or something
Yeah,
like
if
that.
you're in the sun briefly, it does something to it like basically burns it out of you.
Yeah.
But then you find out like half the people in the movie, like Sam Neill's character is like, I had terminal cancer before this, so
Yeah.
if I get healed, I just get to die. So yeah, it was kind
But
of
yeah, that was interesting because there's always you always have like vampires are a hidden thing. So
Yeah.
and then this is just like, and then but also vampires things are usually presented as an infectious thing, so almost like zombies in a way. And then other vampire fiction, it's more of like, well, we drink your blood, you drink our blood, and it's a ceremony, and that's the only way you can make somebody. But this is more of the like it's an infection thing, and so like basically it's like, oh, there's more vampires than people. It's like, well, that's not gonna work.
it's going to lead to problems.
Which yeah, then they had to start like we got to create artificial blood, and then let Sam Neill becomes like a super vampire bat thing at the end or whatever. So
Yeah, it was a weird movie, but it was kind of interesting.
It was cool. So
Yeah,
for what it was, they had like Ethan Hawke in there. So
yeah, Ethan Hawke was the other guy.
So if Act 2, a guy, Ben Foster, he's the stranger, which he
Yeah.
always plays like weird roles. He's kind of a like weird teeth people are a lot of his things. So.
Oh, okay. I remember he was in Hell or High Water.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like because we had Bridges and Christopher Pine, and he was like Christopher Pine's brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
I've heard good things. I haven't seen that yet. So
That's a great movie. It's
Okay.
actually.
Well, I saw he's in the 310 to Yuma remake, which I heard is also excellent. I still haven't
No,
seen
that's
that.
a great movie. Yeah, you should watch that. That's a really good movie.
Yeah,
Hell or High Water is good because it's Jeff Bridges being the best Jeff Bridges he's been in a long time, but he's a cop.
Yeah.
Instead of some kind of hippie weirdo or something, but he still says horribly inappropriate, racist, awful things. But because he has like a Native American / Hispanic partner, and he's always making like racist comments. But in the end, the guy gets killed, and he was like, he's really upset. He's like, that was one of my favorite people. You can't kill him. You know, he can't be dead. Yeah, it was an interesting. It was a good movie. But yeah, I remember this guy from that. And yeah, because he's basically the what do you call that person? That was he works for the vampires, but he's not a vampire. He's like it's not Rendlesham. It's what is it?
I was gonna say familiar, but that's not right.
Yeah, that's like an animal thing.
Yeah, it's an animal. So
yeah, Renfeld.
Yeah,
He's like the Renfeld, but in a much cruder way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he just wants to be a vampire, like they've made promises to him.
Yeah.
So he's their daylight operations guy. And apparently the guy who destroyed all the phones and stuff.
Yeah, he killed
Not
the dogs.
Killed the dogs, but yeah. I think the helicopter was destroyed because the vampires can rip vehicles to shreds.
Yeah. So the stranger's at a bar. He's looking for booze, but they say they don't serve booze when it's the 30 days a night. I forget what they have a different name for. Is that the something solstice or whatever? I can't remember. Or the
Polar night.
Polar night. Okay.
Yeah.
The bartender Lucy says like the town, yeah, it's dry for a month, and he says like, "Can I get you something to eat?" And he says, "Ask for raw hamburger." Then, which then he gets angry about that. It's like, "You won't give me what I want to drink. You won't give me what I want to eat." And then Evan shows up and then the guy gets angry, and Evan's like, "Oh, let's go outside and talk." Which, yeah, I don't really know what that means in this context. Like, he's being nice about it, but he's like, what's he going to do? Beat him up or just actually talk to him? I don't know. So,
well, see, in the context of this movie, you got to understand, this is a town where everyone would know everyone there. No one's just passing through Barrow, Alaska.
Yeah.
So he's immediately like, something is very wrong here. And in combination with everything else that's gone on, this guy's probably a part of it.
Yeah.
So, because he is a smart guy at the end of the day, like for a cop, he's like, but he's not dealt with a lot of nuanced situations. So this is definitely out of his realm. But yeah, he seems to be acting right.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, he's competent enough in this movie, but also you have to like think of the idea that like being a sheriff up in Barrow, Alaska, probably isn't the like the greatest position for an officer of the law. So
I've developed this theory in my mind about police because they're always in the news now. And the problem with police, like, let's think of the nicest, like, imagine the nicest places, like, Virginia Beach, or, like the nicest, like the highest income zip codes in America. Even if you're a cop in San Francisco, you are only dealing with the worst people in San Francisco all the time. Not the good people, not the cool stuff.
yeah,
You're dealing with the drug addicts, the psychopaths, those people running around. So yeah, wherever you're a cop, it's just a bad deal because you're only dealing with, because the normal people you don't interact with at all,
yeah.
because they're just doing their thing. You're only dealing with the crazies, the drunks, the wife beaters, and
Well,
especially
and that goes the other way around too, because it's like I'm not dealing with the cops because I'm not in trouble.
yeah.
So like if trouble were ever to happen and like cops need to like be around me, I wouldn't know how to conduct myself necessarily other than be suspicious of the cops. It's like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Now, you don't do anything to me. I'm never the problem.
I need you to solve a problem, asshole. Hey, I just got here. I don't know who you are. It's like, I pay your salary, dick. It's like, you can't win.
Yeah.
It's a terrible job.
So yeah, the guy gets in Eben's face, which like Josh Hartnett's like a foot taller than this guy, or at least they make him seem that way.
Yeah.
Because there's like a weird like posturing in this movie where they set up Eben as being like this, like, heroic, classically heroic character, strong and tall and all that stuff. But then he's like, well, his wife's leaving him. He has asthma. He has asthma, and like there's like all these like flaws to him and stuff. But
it's just Alaska. What do they say about people that go to Alaska? Everyone who goes to Alaska is hiding from something.
Yeah.
And it's always been cast as a place full of flawed people. But I only know 2 people from there, and I don't talk to them every day, so I have no idea. But they didn't seem flawed. They seemed like, I want to make a lot of money, and I don't care if I live in hell to do it. But
you go to Las Vegas to get something out of your system, and then you go to short term, and then you go to Alaska to get something out of your system in the long term.
Yeah. Go to Alaska because like all people skills have dissolved. You essentially want to be around surly people, either woodsy killers or just essentially the northern version of oil roughnecks, which those people are just going to get their check and drink it because their life sucks. They're being worked to death.
Well, we had 2 guys that like they work for our branch in Alaska that now work at our branch, and like it did sound like an adventure, because like like when I gotta go to a site, it's like, well, I just drive there and do my thing and drive back. And then like, no, in Alaska it's like you gotta get up, you gotta take a plane to the site, you gotta do your job and then take a plane back, and it's like, man, that's like a whole adventure going on. So
maybe pack some food, you
Yeah.
never know what's going to happen. And I know aircraft up there, like when we think of aircraft, we think of like shiny metal things that you pay $500 to go on and they're well maintained. Up there it's like pilot's license. It's like, hey, well, where are we going? Well, the compass says this way, and I go this way for like 10 miles and then I land. It's like at an airport. No,
just a flat, clear runway.
Wherever the trees aren't. Like, okay.
I only need like 30 feet to stop this thing, so we can get about anywhere.
Hey, are the wheels in good shape? Oh, we're just landing with skids. It's like, oh, okay.
But when the guy gets in Eben's face, Stella puts a gun to his head. It's like, well, that's pretty severe for the fire marshal.
Yeah.
And also like Eben's
fire marshal with a Glock. Like,
it's. Which with how this movie's shot, that Glock looks extra sleek because it just looks like a black hole with some shiny bits on the edges. So
it's got ice on it. Yeah, it's freezing.
Stella says she's gonna stay with Billy because she's stuck there, and then Eben's like miffed by this because he thinks like, well, we can use this time to try to like figure our relationship out. She's like, no, I'm just gonna run shorter distance away rather than the long distance I was. So. But also, they said like, I think she said she was gonna go to, because it seems like some people go to like Anchorage or something, and other people are going like to Seattle.
Okay.
Which I don't know if that's like, oh, we got a hotel for like the next month there, or do they have like a second house in Seattle or something like that? I have no idea. So, yeah, there does seem to be like a lot of like, because I was like the one guy that worked in Alaska, like he then moved to like the Seattle branch. So there seems to be a lot of migration from Alaska to Seattle for stuff. So, or I guess Washington in general, I guess.
Yeah.
Then we cut to Stella and Eben have an awkward car ride. Yeah, and the strangers in the back just like cuffed to something in the back. And,
Yeah.
they get to the station. They lock the guy up. Stella greets everyone. Then we cut to some oil workers are leaving work, which there's kind of like some sort of like trading relationship going on here, and they're like figuring out like who's gonna go back where, and like maybe someone will have sex or they'll all have sex or no one gets sex. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, there seems to be a weird economy going on there.
So like the guy, but then they decide that they're all gonna go back to one of the guys' house, and so they start to play rock paper scissors, and just one of them gets grabbed, just like you see a figure just run out of nowhere, grab the person almost awkwardly. And then they're just gone, but they do it so quickly that the other two people are like, "Wait, what just happened?" So, which this stuff here is like kind of inconsistent because it's almost like plot armor stuff where it's like these vampires are impossibly strong and fast unless they're dealing with the main characters, and then they aren't. So
yeah, everybody's plotting. Like we're gonna toy with him. Like, wow, you just ripped everyone else. You went at everyone else like a blender. I did notice that in the movie. Like they're like a blender on legs for everyone.
Yeah.
But except the main character, we're gonna be like, like I get it, but it was sort of like, oh come on, this is inconsistent.
Yeah. But we're just showing how dangerous the vampires are. So
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, because then like the guy just gets tossed back in from like almost seemingly like 10 feet up in the air, and he's just like bleeding from the throat.
Yeah.
And then the other two like run off, which I think the girl here like lives like, yeah, I think she lives throughout the movie, but it seems like they're all going to die. So
yeah.
But there also seems to be like, I don't know if it's strategic. It gets played off as strategic later on where they leave people alive for various, usually as bait. So
yeah, there does seem to be a lot of baiting going on, but yeah. Well, actually, it's only used once, but it's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. So it's like, yeah, okay.
Well, they have the one girl, and then they have like the little girl at the end.
Yeah, I don't think she's bait. I think she's just like wandering around.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought. That's what I got out of it.
Okay. We cut to Eben is wondering about how the stranger, how he got there, basically pointing out like, yeah, you can't just walk in here. Like this is a place that you have to plan to get here. So like, who the hell are you and what's going on? Which I think, yeah, the stranger here kind of just, oh no, he threatens him a bit later. Eben finds pot at the station, which we find out that Grandma smokes it to help her with her cancer. So yeah, which is kind of fun.
And it pays off later.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that. It's like why are they throwing that in? It's like, see, that is one thing I like. Almost everything in this movie that is on top pays off.
Yeah.
There's a lot of subtext stuff that also works and is smart, but it's not really addressed or said. This is one of those movies you could watch it 4 times. You'll pick up like, oh, okay, there's a lot of subtlety here.
Yeah.
Even though it seems on the surface to be like, oh, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, there's some things you like suspect is like, is that the way I would do that? Is that how I would approach these situations? And there's other things like, no, they set it up, and it's like, yep, that's what I would do, and then they do it, and then it kind of works until it doesn't. And it's like, well, they tried. Yeah.
You're fighting monsters that you don't know anything about. You know. You
I
don't
think maybe the most inexplicable thing, maybe it's just grief.
Yeah.
But like when Billy at the end, like where they're like they have to carry him around because he's like injured or something, and then suddenly he can just like run anywhere.
Yeah. It seemed
It's
kind of
like
strange.
what's going on? This is like Padme just dying from sadness after having her children.
Yeah.
Um, the internet and phones go down, and the stranger threatens them that like with what's coming, it's like you're all gonna die, and they're coming for you or whatever. And then the power goes out in the town. We cut to Eben goes out to the cell tower, and all the electronics have been destroyed. And then Eben finds a trail of blood leading to a head on a stake.
Yeah.
Which like
Which is the original guy from the communication station.
yeah
I think it was the only fat person in the film.
yeah.
I keep track of that.
Where's my representation?
Yeah.
But then this actually has like a point because then we'll find out like, oh yeah, they rip the heads off people because they want to control their population. So
Everything pays off. Oh, by the way, the shrieking of the vampires is a very then the New Zealand connection makes sense. It's like it's a combination of people shrieking and a sounding a blended sound of a Tasmanian devil
okay,
kind of sped up,
huh?
which is I don't know if you remember like one of the most famous like of the prequel Star Wars was Jango Fett's like the Slave One cannons.
Yeah.
Remember when he was just like continuously firing at Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
Okay, that was actually a bird from New Zealand that make that squeaking sound. They just sped it up and looped
Oh, okay. Huh.
it. Everyone thought those guns sound amazing. Like that actually sounds like energy being created and slammed through something. And it's like that's brilliant sound design. And they're like, yeah, we just recorded a bird and sped it up, but it was a bird from that part of the world. Nobody else knew what that sounded like. So they were like, that's brilliant. And this is the same thing. It's like,
Okay.
this is a combination of people shrieking and a Tasmanian devil, which is if you go to YouTube, everyone stop listening to this and go to YouTube and listen to Tasmanian devil shrieks. It's like, oh, that's why they called them devils. That would be if you were in the woods at night and you heard that, you'd be like, oh, we're dead. It's but it's just this little furry creature. But yeah, that's where that their stuff came from.
Well, the shrieking.
Hmm?
Well, the shrieking reminded me of, which this predates it, the infected in The Last of Us, the clickers, and they're shrieking. They're like ah.
Oh,
yeah, stuff like that.
Now, I don't know. Have we talked about the vampire language yet, or have they spoken?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay,
we'll get to
that
it
in a minute. Because I have some trivia about that too.
Then we got to Evan goes to town and warns everyone to go into. Like he's on a loudspeaker, like get indoors and load their guns.
Yeah. You know when cops are telling you that, it's like, oh, for sure, we're gonna be fine.
The cop wants me to get my gun. I better go get it, as many as I can find. I better go set up like that scene in Tremors where they have all the guns on the walls.
Yeah, I mean, me and Stacy have joked about that. Like, we're not quite to that level yet, but yeah, if like the government said get your guns, like we'd be in here like loading multiple insane weapons. Like, yeah, okay, we've been waiting all our lives for this.
Then we have Allie and John, which they own the sled dogs, and the vampires grab Allie and they kind of like toy with her, like drag her around under multiple like houses, because like all the houses have like a crawl space under them, or like a bunch of them do.
Well, they're built off the ground so they don't freeze.
Okay, that makes sense. All right.
Yeah. I looked that up. It's like, why would you build houses like that? It's like, well, the earth is just frozen. Like, it's not built on concrete. You can't do that there. So.
Okay. Which he always goes to the coldest source. So if you'd lose a bunch of your heat, I guess, if it touched the ground or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I just looked it up. I was like, huh, that's interesting.
And then John, like, he looks like
It also makes for a lot of cool dramatic scenes where the vampires are walking by and we're under the houses. It's
Yeah.
like, so it could also be that. It's
yeah.
This is a way to do this.
The vampires grab Allie again, and then they wound John, and we kind of cut away from that. And then we cut to the stranger taunts everyone at the station, and he tricks Jake and grabs him because, like, he, like, throws, because, yeah, Jake wanted to play a game, but nobody wanted to do it, so now they're playing, like, some sort of, this might be Risk, I'm not sure, and he throws, like, one of the figurines towards him, and then the stranger says he's going to use it, he's going to break it and use it as a pick, and then that causes Jake to run over there. He's like, you're not getting that, and then he grabs him. But then Evan just comes in and shoots the guy, like, in his shoulder or something like that. You know,
something like
must
that.
Be a good, yeah, it must be a good shot to, like, shoot around his brother from the door. So
yeah, it's like, thanks for firing that gun off next to my head. Like, you're welcome.
But and he also immediately goes, like, grab the med kit because, like, they're gonna fix him up, but he still shot the guy. Then he goes in there and he cuffs him to the bars and he, like, interrogates him. He's like, who are they? What do they do? What do they want? Then we cut to Stellan and Eben, like, go out on patrol, which Eben tells her to stop the truck because he saw something, and he gets out and he's, like, looking around, and then we don't see what he sees, and we don't see what Stella sees, but she's like, yeah, because, like, there's a bit of moment here where it's, like, kind of abrasive because he's like stop the truck, and she's like, what? He's like, stop the fucking truck. And he gets out, and then she's like, get back in. He's like, what? And she's like, get back in the fucking car. Then he hops back in and they take off, and then just like a vampire runs and jumps on the truck while they race away, so, like, these vampires can run as fast as cars. Yeah. And then, like, it's trying to, like, punch its way through the car, and Eben shoots it, and it doesn't seem to care about bullets. And then eventually I think she just kind of, like, hits the brakes and knocks it off the top of the truck, and they get away. We cut to, they get back to town, and it's, like, mayhem. There's, like, you see, there's, like, a big overhead shot later on, but, like, here we see, like, something has happened, and, like, cars are on fire and stuff. We hear Helen cries on the walkie. That's her grandma, and then, you know, she's dead. She's gone for the rest of the movie because she's just dead. So they go back to the station. There's just blood everywhere, and the stranger insinuates, like, they took Jake, and then it's also insinuated that they killed Helen, and then the stranger is sad because they didn't take him with them because he, you know, obviously the vampires, you know, told him they'd change him if he did all this stuff for them, which we don't know. Like, I mean, presumably he's American, right?
He seems to have an American accent.
So, like, they didn't, like, pick this guy up in Russia and, like, take the boat over here. So they picked him probably up somewhere else and made him take the boat or something like that.
I'm not sure exactly how it all works. I know because this is, like, the movie doesn't really detail that a lot, but I know in, like, the comic books and, like, in the follow-up movie, from what I read, it's like there seems to be a Los Angeles connection to this somehow.
Yeah.
So it could have been like they found him there and then he arranged for the boat. And
okay, I just assumed that he snuck him on a boat, and then they were able to kill the whole crew, and then this was the next place, but it also seems like they intentionally want to go here. This doesn't seem to be a mistake that they're here. So
no, this was a plan. They do have a little bit of explaining. Marlowe does explain a few things.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the weird thing with the vampires. They make them very animalistic, but they still have, like, strategy and have thought things out. But it seems like mostly they're animals. So
the only the thing that really humanizes them the most, or makes them seem like that, is they're cruel.
Yeah.
There seems to be, like, I enjoy cruelty. There's not much else of a spark of humanity there, except it's just, I love cruelty.
Then the stranger asks Eben to kill him, but he doesn't. We cut to outside. We see a group of vampires. They have the main vampire, Marlowe, which I don't think his name's said. It's just in his credits or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think we get any of the vampires' name, but they do have credited names.
Yeah.
This is played by Danny Houston, which you've seen him in something. He always plays some evil something, and he's either like a demon in a human form, or like a evil billionaire, or lawyer or something like that. But he's been a bunch of things.
Or the guy's older brother or something in Children of Men.
Oh, okay.
That's actually John Huston, the actor. That's his son.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you know who John Huston is. He's a very famous actor. But
I'm
yeah,
blanking right now.
yeah, I'm trying to think of what's the biggest John Huston movie we would have talked about. I mean, he was in The African Queen. He was in, which was 1951.
Well, it's yeah. Well, Henry Movie Database is listing Maltese Falcon and like the Chinatown and the Treasure of Sierra Madre.
Yep.
I'm not sure
Yeah,
if he's associated with those, but yeah.
Oh, he was the bad guy in the 74 Chinatown.
Oh, okay.
He was like the guy who, like, I forget, because we watched Chinatown, and he was the like, how was?
Oh wait, John Huston directed the Maltese Falcon, so.
Yeah, no, he directed a lot of things, and I'm just talking about the ones he acted in.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh, his children. Oh, his daughter is Angelica Houston.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of kids. So.
Yeah. Oh, he's married like 7 times. Got a lot of kids. But yeah, this is his son, and we've seen him in everything.
Yeah.
He's a kind of a cool actor. I thought he was British. I guess he was born in Italy, but yeah, he's British American citizenship, but he was trained to act in the UK. So
Okay.
that's where he went to college. So yeah, I didn't realize that was his son until like a couple of years ago. I was like,
yeah.
Wait a minute, okay, that makes sense.
The vampire is speaking like a foreign language, but also has like clicks in it, so that's how I pick up it must be extra ancient, because only ancient languages have clicks and stuff. So.
Well, they went to whatever the big university is in New Zealand.
Okay.
And they were like, we want to make a language that's very simplistic and that's very guttural and sounds scary. And so what they did was they took sign language, like, because if you actually transcribe sign language to like English, like, I guess it's very compressed.
Yeah.
It's like when they're sitting there doing all this stuff, they're not like expressing like nuanced things. And then the verb says to do this. No, they're saying like, we do this. We have that. You must hear, or something. It's because you're not like using sound. You're using your hands, which is a lot slower. So you have to compress.
You're not throwing a bunch of adverbs in there.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, oh, the purple door needs to open quietly. It's like open purple door.
So what they came up with was it's like, okay, we're going to take very simplified. Like, what if Pidgin English and sign language were communicated, but in a series of sounds, and it was, I forget how many sentences they made up, but it was very few because the actors had to remember. Mainly, Danny Houston had to remember them.
Yeah.
And so that's what that language is something they made up real quick. Which, interestingly, is what Denis Villeneuve did for Dune.
Oh, okay.
It's like, what are all those languages they're speaking? He's like, oh, it's just English, but all the vowels and stress syllables are different, and they're cutting out basically all the connecting words. And it's like, oh, that's wild, because it's like, what are the Sardaukar? What are they speaking? English. It's like, oh, but they're doing it in such a way that it doesn't make any sense. It's like, imagine English 10,000 years from now. It's like, oh. Because I don't know if you've ever done that YouTube thing where it's like, how far back could you understand English if you spoke it in 2025? You can go back about 300 years before you're like, what? What are you saying? So yeah, but that's what they did. It was kind of interesting because then they had to teach the characters, they were just phonetically saying the language. But it's like, what's a language someone could say with a mouthful of prosthetic teeth? And it's very simplified.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah, the vampires here have like shark-like feature, which I believe that's out. It's how it's described on the Wikipedia page, so that's probably how it is in the comic book, where they have black eyes and basically shark teeth, kind of. So
yeah,
they're meant to.
Yeah, that was very interesting because it is scary sounding.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, they're totally alien. They're ancient as hell. For all they know, they're speaking Sumerian. Like, we have no idea. but it was a cool touch. It's like getting together with the production people. How do we make up a fake language? Like, go ask a language professor at a university. And it's like, that guy had an idea. It's like, tell you what I can do.
But Marlowe here says the heads must be separated from the bodies. So that's, do not turn them. So they have some sort of population control because they infect people. So
yeah,
they need to feed on people. Which I don't know if they necessarily need blood. Do they need the meat too? Like what? I don't know. It just seems they just kind of violently they live on cruelty. So
yeah. It seems. I'm guessing they need the blood, but
and there seems to be there's the main vampire and everyone seems to be like controlled by them. So I don't know if that's how it's working here. I mean, that's how it is in a lot of vampire fiction where there's like the main vampire and everyone else.
I think with this, it's more like pack animals.
Okay.
It's like there is an alpha and everyone does what he says because it's easier to just do things than make decisions.
Yeah.
Also, he's maybe the strongest for some reason or the most intelligent or etc. Because he seems to have a partner. There's a woman.
Yeah.
It's because their faces are even kind of deformed because everyone's eyes seem like slanted, like and down focused, like predator.
Well, they get very interesting people to play these parts. Because
Yeah.
there's like the one vampire guy who's got kind of like an extra wide face or something like that. I was like, who is this guy? He looks so like stands out so much, and he's just a stunt actor.
Yeah.
And they just like had an interesting look, and it's like, yeah, he put some contacts on him and throw him in a
Well, they actually put prosthetics on a lot of the faces.
Yeah.
Because they wanted everyone's face to almost look like a serpent's head kind of looks like a dart.
Yeah.
They were kind of trying to achieve that. Now they didn't do that so much with the main with Danny Houston with the Marlowe character because he had to speak and interact a lot.
Yeah.
The rest of them had like their eyes were almost like this and they kind of went up. And they have just total blackout iris, like there's no like color delineation in their eyes at all.
Yeah, because I think Danny Houston, he has his own language he speaks, and then he does like have some English words he says to people. And
Yeah.
like none of the other vampires do that. They just kind of make the clicking sounds and like kind of like roar at things or whatever. So
Yeah.
We cut to there's people at the diner talking about how like if you shoot them they just keep coming. Then we cut to we see vampires and people fighting. Like this is like an overhead shot out in the basically looks like
That's
the whole
a
town.
really cool drone shot.
Yeah.
There's just white snow and red blood.
Yeah, being sprayed
People
around.
being torn to bits. Because it didn't occur to me until I was like into this movie a bit. It's like this must be a really R-rated movie.
Yeah.
Because it's like so violent. It's like, yeah, it's hard R. It's definitely a very R-rated movie.
But yeah, I mean, this scene makes it look like, yeah, they just killed 100 people in the town, but people keep showing up here and there. So
yeah.
But yeah, you see him like, oh, we shot him with a shotgun, which this is like the weird thing because it seems like they have so many guns, and then it's like, okay, well, guns won't stop them. But then we have like almost like not too far from now, like Eben just shoots one of them in the head, and their head just blows off, and it's like, well, clearly they're dead. You can just shoot these vampires in the head, and they're dead. So, but that's not.
I think what did they say? Like they didn't say. But I know I was reading in the notes for production, it's like massive cranial trauma will kill them.
Yeah.
So you have to destroy the brain in such a way that it can't function.
Yeah.
Like it could probably take a 9mm through it, but if you hit it with like a shotgun or a heavy caliber rifle in the head where it bursts, they're done.
Well, that's the thing. Like, the Eben does shoot a vampire and blows his head off with just Beretta, so it's very inconsistent in the movie. Or maybe he's the only one that gets headshots. I don't know.
Or maybe he's using a hollow point and the vampire's almost frozen.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be bothered by the cold, but they would still be in some ways affected by,
I think,
fluid dynamics. So,
well, I think I think in the Wikipedia, it talks about or maybe it's implied, or maybe it's in the. There's like a novel adaptation of this movie, which I wonder if it's more interesting. I wonder if they get more into it. But we have a bit there where we have the change at the end, and he says, "I can smell your blood," which you're like, well, shouldn't these vampires basically be finding everybody? And it's like the cold, like they have like all these heightened senses, but the cold has diminished them.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing giving the humans some advantage is that they can't just smell them out. um, but it's not brought up in the movie. It's only like I only read this in a Wikipedia article, but it made some sort of a sense
Yeah.
because there does seem to be like the vampires seem to have too many advantages that they wouldn't just immediately win all the time. So, um, yeah, let's see. We cut to Eben and Stellan show up at the diner. He sees Jake is alive, and he's like, because he just thought his brother was dead and taken away. So that there he is. Which we don't know how Jake got away. I guess they were just the vampires were caught up eating grandma.
Yeah.
So they make a plan to go to, I don't know who this is. They say Kelso's attic because they say he has like one of those like pull down ladders that's basically invisible. So it's like we'll go there. Eben wants to grab bear traps and flares to try to slow him down because that slow these guys down. They get a bear trap caught on them, and we haven't tried fire on them yet, which I don't think we see them on fire for a bit in one sequence, but I don't know if that like actually hurts them at all or anything like that.
That's probably for constraints in the movie. They didn't get into a lot of fire effects.
Yeah, most of the fire effects are digital stuff, which they look okay here. So
yeah, that's
I've seen
shit.
I've seen a lot. Yeah. But I've seen worse fire CG fire. So this
wasn't. You kind of knew it, but it didn't take you out of it
Yeah.
because it was kind of, you could tell it was just in the background. It's just the actors didn't seem to be reacting to it. That's how you knew. It's like, oh, if that was fire, these people would be running the hell away.
Then Eben and Stella drive out, and the vampires just grab the car, hold on to it, and the wheels spin, and then multiple vampires come up and they just flip the car on like on the front end of it that way. Yeah, here Eben blows one of the vampires' head off with just a Beretta. And then, like, I think Marlowe, like, rips open the door and, like, he takes an extra stare at Eben, which this is supposed to be, like, like he met his match or something like. There's something about Eben that Marlowe, like, I don't know if, like, oh, I should turn this one, or if he thinks he's a match, or why he even paused at all. Doesn't really make sense. I don't know if you've read anything more than that or what we're supposed to pick up on, but this is kind of like, this also seems kind of like just plot armor. It's like why don't these people just immediately die? It's because they're the main characters. So
That's kind of how the hero characters, again, the vampires become slow and plodding in their attack.
And then Bo shows up and hits some vampires with his plow truck, which that seems kind of effective. It's a heavy thing, and that the plow on the front of there is kind of sharp a bit. So then we cut to Eben and Stella and Bo go into Kelso's house, and they find the hidden attic ladder, which it is pretty well hidden. So you gotta go in there and like intentionally look for it with lights. They hear a gunshot. I'm not sure if it's upstairs or outside. I think it's just outside, and so they cautiously pull down the ladder, and it seems like there's other people there already. I think it's Carter's in here. They see, which he was the guy that was at the utilidor.
Yeah.
He was also at the bar. It's just like we first saw him at the utilidor. We cut to Evan plans to hold up and ration food till they come up with a plan, which their plan is to like go to the general store and like pick up food and other things, and then go to the utilidor. So that's like their next plan because they can't hang out here forever.
Yeah.
Then we cut to Marlowe shows up at the station and talks to the stranger, telling him they owe him, and then he just snaps his neck.
Yeah. Which I kind of thought, I was like, wow.
And then his body's like disappeared by the end of it, which like did they eat him? I don't know.
There seemed to be a lot of build up, but that's one of the things I didn't like about this movie is like, you'd think it'd be nice if he revealed, like if they revealed, yeah, we're just going to leave you in this cage to die or something, like they didn't kill him. and then he like helps the other people. It's like I know
Oh
things
yeah.
about these guys, but I don't think they this seemed to be really like, let's step on the accelerator.
Yeah, we only have this actor for a week, so we got to
Yeah.
kill him. um, Let me cut to we're back at the Kelso's attic. And we have Isaac, the Alzheimer's dad, wakes up in fear, which that's just a horrible. I mean, that's a great thing to put here because that's like awful to think about. Like this guy's in fear for different reasons, and then you gotta like, well, he's my dad. I gotta keep him alive. It's like, and then they're just gonna both end up dead. So, um, they hear vampires ransacking other homes, and so yeah, here's where they lay out plans to go to the general store for supplies, and then the utilidor. Let me cut to it. Says day 7, which again, this doesn't necessarily feel like it's been 7 days in this attic, but there's a woman named Kirsten is walking through the town with a bleeding arm and screaming for help, and then we see the vampires are using it as a bait as they basically just hop around on the rooftops. And then we have the comical like little strip in the window that they lift up and can see everything in the entire world.
Pull the tape back 1/8 of an inch. It's like, yeah, we have a fisheye view of the entire universe.
I mean, it conveys it. I just thought it was funny. It's like when you have something like that, and they just basically seem to like they describe basically almost omnipotently what's going on outside from that little strip in the window. So, so Eben is outside trying to do something. He's basically trying to see if he can, I guess help this lady at all. Then John shows up. We see him like underneath one of the houses. I mean, you can kind of see that he has like a blue face on him, and it's like, oh, that's not gonna go well. But also, he's been presumably under a house for a week. So.
Yeah. Alaska on the ground.
Yeah.
All the heat out of your body.
So John quietly calls to Eben, and then he's hiding under a house. We cut to the vampires are just like slashing up Karen because like all these or Kirsten, they all have like these precarious sharp nails that don't seem very sturdy, but they're basically razor blades for them. So
that's one of my favorite like Marlowe scenes in the movie because she doesn't draw the guys out, the woman who's there as bait.
Yeah.
And so then they like start hissing at her, and then he comes around and she's like, please. And she's like, God, help me. And he looks at her and he's like, does this weird where he turns his head sideways. He's like, God, no God. Around, like, no God.
Yeah. He looks up the sky. No God.
And they just kill her, I'm assuming. So
yeah, I don't think we see her demise, but she gets slashed up pretty good. So it's presumably she's dead. Eben helps out John from the house, and he sees he's turned into a vampire, and then John says he's hungry, and then John tries grabbing at Eben, and then, like, John gets, like, caught up in the swing, because I guess his leg is still bad or whatever, so I'm guessing these vampires don't heal as magically as you expect them to do, being that they can just punch through metal, but I'm not sure. Also, he just got turned, and he hasn't eaten anybody, so maybe he doesn't have the energy for it, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, when John gets caught up in the swing, Eben just grabs an axe and cuts his head off, and he doesn't feel good about it. He's like, he knows this guy, but it's like, I think this is the only way I can solve this problem. So, which it does have a very comic book pose to it when they just show like, the swing set, the headless body, blood everywhere, and then him standing there. It's almost like a still image. But in motion, so it feels very.
Yeah, if you put that on a poster, it would be like, "What's this? The hell's going on here?"
We cut to Eben gets back to the house, and he's having an asthma attack. He lost his inhaler. He informs that John became one of them, so they kind of know like there's an infection thing going on here. See, I don't know when everyone starts saying vampires, but like right now they're just like, well, there seems to be crazy people out there, and like maybe they're on PCP or whatever. I think somebody suggests. So
yeah, I remember hearing that.
Because I don't think they witnessed necessarily. Well, I mean, they witnessed these people being violent, but I'm not sure if they witnessed like blood sucking and like people changing into vampires. So, but that's
It kind
more.
of reminds me of the scene at the end of From Dusk Till Dawn, when that one guy's out there and you know, and George Clooney, and they like bust out, and what's that actor's name?
Oh, Cheech Marin.
And he's like, "What was wrong with them? Were they psychos or something?" And George Clooney's like, "Nobody explodes in the sun if I don't care how psychotic they are." But yeah, they're like, "Yeah, these guys are on speed or something." It's like, yeah, I don't think this speed. It's worse than that.
The vampires find John's body decapitated, and they see it's got vampire teeth, so it changed. Which I don't know necessarily like what that means for them. Like, are they sad about this? Or are they like, oh, we forgot one? Or I don't know what's going on. Like, shore up the ship here. We can't be changing random people. So
Yeah, because it's just more people we have to compete with to eat. So yeah, and they want to keep it a secret too.
Yeah. Then we cut to Stella's on watch. Isaac has an episode, and he has a sudden urge to leave. And then Isaac, like they kind of stop him because he's like, oh, I'm gonna walk to Whitmore or something like that. Come on, And he's like, he also like forgets that his wife is dead and stuff like that. Classic Alzheimer's sadness thing. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Then Isaac goes to the bathroom, and then he sneaks out the window, and then Stella gets knocked down as Wilson, the son, like has to go after him. Evan wakes up when he hears the noise, and he goes downstairs. A vampire makes its way to Kelso's house because it hears a noise, but then like when he hears Wilson just like yelling for his dad out loud, then he goes for him. So then they're spared for this moment. They go back up in the attic. They hear a vampire on the roof, but then it just leaves, which magically they're somehow to look through the magic peek hole and be like, it's moved on. But there's a blizzard going on now, so they move through the blizzard, like going to the general store. They get there. Evan hands out orders to people on what to grab, which that's a good thing. Evan gets an inhaler back. They all hear like someone choking and coughing, and then we see like a little girl is just eating someone, and that person's like alive for a moment, and then the next scene their head is just separated from the body, which I don't know if like the girl ate the rest of her neck or ripped the head off or what's going on there. So
yeah, she probably ripped the head off because Barlow told him to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then the girl runs out and tackles Carter. They all grab her and hold her up against the wall, like pick her up, hold her against the wall, and then Jake comes in and cuts her head off with an axe. And then they mention like nobody knows who the girl is, so this is presumably just with the group, and they churned a girl sometime, and I'm guessing maybe she doesn't age or what. I don't know.
Yeah, she probably stops where she might be like over 100 years old, because they do see like they kind of let the guys off the hook because she has tattoos on her body.
Oh, okay.
It's like, so yeah, this is just an older. This was just
right.
Somebody
Okay.
who was a little girl, but yeah, they have tattoos. Like no 12-year-old girl has tattoos.
And the only vampire that basically can just speaks fluent English, because he says like, I want to play with somebody else, and that's the only time you see a vampire. So like, it kind of throws you off because you don't like, because you like for the moment
Think it's like, is this one of the towns?
Yeah, it's just townsperson. Yeah.
But you have to pay attention, like, because she has weird Kabbalistic symbols on her hands, and then I think it's like an upside down crucifix on her or something. But Marlowe said no God, so I don't know why you're putting it. But I think that was put in there to probably might have been added in post. It's like, hey, let's not make it look like the main characters chopped the head off a little girl.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she's got tattoos. She's a weirdo. Back at that time, it was weird when people had tattoos all over their body. Now you're weird if you don't. So.
Then one of the characters says the whiteout is over. Then we cut to sometime later. It just says day 18. I think they just stay at the general store for like 10 days, I guess. So.
Yeah.
Evan says they have to move. They can't stay here. Stella has an idea to use like the sun lamps to fight the vampires and they're also going to use like this as a distraction for the rest of the group to run away. So Eben like volunteers himself, saying he's the fastest runner, which I guess is ironic because he has asthma. So. Um, Evan runs to Grandma's house while making a fuss about town to get the vampires after him. Evan has to start up a generator to power the grow lights, and then he goes inside the house. The rest of the human group try to make their way to... Yeah, they go to the sheriff's station. They get... A vampire attacks one of them, and they just keep going, so, like, that's just one person dead. So, apparently the vampire didn't follow him, so... Evan preps to ambush the vampires, which the vampires, like, hold off for a moment, but then the main... It's like this main lady vampire, like in Marlowe, kind of have a back and forth moment, and then he's kind of like, yeah, go ahead, I guess. But it also seems to be a hesitation, which I don't know if that's their, like, intuition that something might be going on, or if that's just, like, how we're prepping, like, oh no, is this not going to work? But then she just, like, runs in, opens up the door, and then, like, Eben hits her with the UV light, which he's holding it down at first, and then he holds it up to flash it at her, and it just, like, immediately, like, burns half her body, and then she, like, runs back out screaming, and then Eben just runs out of there because he, like, knows that, like, oh, they're gonna go cut the power, which they immediately do. And then he radios into Stella. Bo says he has a plan to run a distraction so Eben can get away from the vampires where he's at. We see Marlowe kind of stands over the lady vampire, and then, like, I forget what he says, but basically bites into her neck because now she's, like, too weak to recover, which, or something like that. So, you know, it's very cruel. It's like if you're not in tip top shape, we just need to murder you. So,
leave the weak.
Yeah, which presumably, like, I don't know, these, you know, they could have had like a 1,000-year relationship or whatever if these things have relationships. So.
Yeah.
And we cut to Bo's, like, fighting the vampires with a trencher and a shotgun, which he's doing, like, pretty good here. Yeah. So he's like, really don't know the numbers of the vampires. It seems to be anywhere from 8 to 30. So, and he kills like 12 of them here. So,
yes, it's a pretty destructive act.
Because I think like he kills like 2 with just like running them directly with the trencher. He kills like 3 with a shotgun. I think he shoots one off like the front of the trencher onto the trencher chainsaw thing, and it like rips the vampire in 2. It's like, so but then Bo just crashes it into a building. He grabs like dynamite and a flare. He runs out of shotgun ammo, and then he just goes to blow himself up with dynamite, which then he just magically survives somehow, like being right next to the dynamite explosion, just kind of hoisting him away like a gust of air. Which then Marlowe comes up and just crushes his head with his foot, so just unceremoniously. So.
Yeah.
Eben gets back to the station. Carter is churning. He got bit by the girl. He asked for Eben to kill him. Yeah, you kind of see like he's got some teeth and he's kind of blue. His face is kind of bluer, and he like mentions, because what is it? Did like his wife die, or like his wife and kids die, or something like that?
He killed his wife and kids.
Oh, he killed them
in the house. Yeah.
No. This is Carter.
Oh, Carter. Yeah, I'm not sure. I forget. Now I'm forgetting that because I mixed these 2 guys up. Yeah. When he said something about his wife and kids, I was thinking, oh, this is the guy who killed his wife and kids. But that was the other guy.
I can't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, this guy doesn't. I mean, this guy's like he's got acting credits and stuff like that, but like he does a really great job here, and just seemingly like it's like, oh, I never saw this guy in anything again, but he does a great scene here. And then him and Eben and Carter just go into another room, and then we hear Eben chop Carter's head off, and it's like, oh man, that's like rough. So
yeah.
So I mean, in Act 2, got Act 3. This is day 27. I see a blinking light on one of the houses, and then Jake says it's Billy. Stella and Eben run over to the house. They find Billy. Eben finds Billy's wife and daughters covered in the bed with gunshots to their heads, and it's like, well, this isn't gonna be good.
Okay, yeah, this is the one I could rant this together in my mind. Okay.
Billy says he tried to shoot himself, but his gun jammed, which he's injured somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's injured by a vampire or what, but he's like having a hard time moving around, and then he isn't. So I don't know.
Well, I'm assuming this guy is just like just got massive mental disorder.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. If you kill your whole family and then can't kill yourself, I mean,
and then hang out in the house for almost 30 days after. It's like, oh, this is fun.
I mean, he's fraught with grief and like self-destruction, so I can understand, I guess. But yeah, this is like it's like the cruelty of The Mist, but you go like an extra half hour with the movie. Yeah, this is where we get the line that I forget. I don't think I mentioned. There's somewhere I mentioned, like, I think Stella talks about like, oh, like they say like their relationship broke up because like he didn't want to have kids, and then we have a moment here where Eben is like crying and like wanting to hurt Billy, but he's kind of crying at him as he's like grabbing him, and it's just like, you have a family, you don't ever hurt them. Which, I don't know, maybe that has something to do with mom and dad. Maybe the dad killed
Again,
him.
we always get allusions to it,
Yeah.
but never solid answers.
Yeah, which I didn't realize until like reviewing this movie, that like if you think about the parents, that makes the Eben character a bit more interesting, because it's like there's something there and it's never mentioned.
Yeah,
Like all of his problem that we know about is like, oh, is like, oh, his hot wife doesn't want to be around him anymore. The hot couple doesn't want to be together anymore. It's like, who cares?
He has asthma and he doesn't want to have kids.
So they bring Billy back to the station, but everyone is gone. And then they grab Billy and hide under a house, which they have to, like, he has to have his hands around their neck to move around, which I don't know if that's just his grief-stricken thing or what's going on here, but he seems to be hurt. But then from this moment on, Billy can just move around like nothing happened. So, there's a girl walking through the town covered in blood. Stella grabs her, but a vampire is on this girl's trail, and so they kind of get like, so then, I think Eben runs the distraction, and Billy's also like a part of the distraction, but everyone's running off in all different directions. And I said apparently Billy can just run now. We cut to Stella makes it off. Stella's trying to make it to the Utilidor. But then we cut to Eben does make it to the Utilidor, and the grinder thing is just there running, just perpetually.
Yeah.
We see Jake is there. Stella hasn't shown up yet. We cut to Marlo like bathes in some blood. Like grabs blood from somebody and just rubs it in his head. Oh wait, is this the vampire? Is he still at his lady vampire doing this, or I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I thought it was him, but it could be.
Okay. So then he gives order to destroy them to hide their existence. So that's what they do, is just kill a whole town. Because I guess presumably if the world knows about them, they can probably easily be killed. So.
Yeah, well, when you're outnumbered 9 billion.
Yeah.
And now we know that like ultraviolet weapons can work as effectively too. It's like you don't even need the sun; you just need helicopters with giant ultraviolet cannons, and it's like, well, yeah, they're going to get them eventually.
We cut to Billy finds his way to the Utilidor, but a vampire is like coming close after him, which I don't think Billy knows. Eben calls on the walkie for Stella. The one big-faced vampire bites Billy. And then Billy's able to knock that guy into the grinder, but then Billy like gets his arm ripped off by the grinder. Billy's like churning like and screaming like all like very quickly, which it seemed like Carter like it took him a while to churn, but Billy's is like almost immediately, which I don't know why, but whatever.
Could be the strength of the vampire and how much of it is virus or whatever. Yeah, you don't know. I mean, it's also.
I think it's actually just the end of the movie's happening. It's like, let's just speed things up here, but yeah. It's fun to speculate, so I like your ideas. Yeah, because like if it's the strength of vampire, that little girl would probably be like a weaker vampire presumably. So Eben cuts Billy's head off very unceremoniously. He basically looks like as he's cutting his head off, it kind of looks like a like a prop from The Thing or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like what is it? The android in Alien.
Oh, David. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, or I guess one of the androids. Yeah, but
Or you mean in the original Alien? Oh,
I meant
yeah.
I meant the original, but I guess they both get their heads ripped off, or no, I guess just he gets ripped in half in Aliens. So
No, we all on Prometheus. David gets his head ripped off by the engineer.
yeah, but in the Alien, the one robot
Yeah.
guy gets his head ripped off, and they have because it's got that weird.
Yeah. Ian Holm. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that android's name? I can't
Uh,
remember because Bishop was the other one, and then David. What was Ian Holmes?
Ash.
Ash. Yep, Ash.
Okay. Um. They find some vodka, and they mention that it's 1 day till sunrise. So they, which this does not feel like, 2 days just went by. I think, well, I maybe not, because it was like day 27, like 10 minutes ago, and now we're on day 29. So.
Well, that's the problem with using ellipses to say time passes, because it's like to you, it's like, well, they said time passes, but everyone's like sitting in the same spot.
Yes.
Like no one moved around in 2 days. That's a lot of. They're not eating either, so maybe they're like really. Like,
yeah, I wonder if someone thinks like, well, they grabbed some chips from the general store, and that's just gonna give them away. It's like grab silent food. Stella reports in on her walkie. Her and Gail are like hiding under a car for like I don't know, like a day or whatever.
Yeah.
The vampires are just like roaming about the town. Stella says she shouldn't have left him, like in their relationship. So, which that doesn't really like. I don't know if that really does anything here. But I guess that seems like she's admits something because you think she's gonna die. I guess that's the most you get out of it.
Yeah.
The vampires, we see like the town's like bleeding because the vampires have busted up the pipelines and the oil's just flowing through the town, which just looks really cool. So, and the Marlowe just sets all the oil on fire, and then the town's just catching on fire. So they need a plan to try to get Stella out of there and the girl. So Eben goes and grabs a syringe. She gets some blood from Billy's body and then injects it with himself with the vampire blood. Because he's like, well, I'll try to use the strength with the vampire thing to try to fight them, which we don't know if it works. Because we haven't gone through like the motion. Because it seems like, if you turn a vampire, then you then just become under the control of Marlowe, and we don't really know. So
Yeah.
So Eben is changing. He says here that he can smell their blood, which that's creepy.
That's not a good way to introduce yourself. Hi, I can smell your blood. What?
Eben heads out to try and fight. He's grimacing from the pain as he goes from changing into a vampire. Because they kind of mention it's like we don't know like what blood type Billy is or if that even matters. Like maybe that could be a thing going on here. So
Yeah.
Jake tells Stella to run, and then Eben fights Marlowe. The rest of the vampires just kind of like stand by. It's just a circle. It's like, let's see who wins. Eben's just getting the crap beat out of him, and I think he gets his like hand broken and bent.
Yeah.
And then Marlowe does like a teeth first charge at Eben, and then Eben just punches him through the mouth and through the back of the head and immediately kills Marlowe. It's satisfying and just quick and out of nowhere. So and if you slow down the effect, it's kind of like not that well done, but it works because it's so quick. So it was very unexpected.
Yeah, they didn't hang on it. So
No.
yeah.
And then the other vampires just back off, and like I don't know to what end. Like, are they gonna hide somewhere, bury themselves in the snow?
Like the end of Riddick. Like, now you're the king of the necromancer. What? Oh, you keep what you kill. Yeah.
Stella approaches Eben. She's like, "What did you do?" And he's like, "What I had to do." And then Stella kind of like fears the dawn for him because like I don't know if she's thinking like, well, maybe we can hide you for a moment or whatever. But then we cut to just Stella and Eben sit by the shore and wait for dawn. So he's just like waiting to die. She gives him a kiss. Like as the sun rises, his skin just turns to ash, and then he just dies in her arms. And it's a very, that's kind of this is their first date and this is their last time together, and it's like thematically this like works, and it's like just a harsh ending to a harsh movie, but it's like, well, some people survive, so you got to take that what you can. So
Yeah, there's no wins in this movie.
yeah,
There's no like, oh, we found the cure or the secret weapon.
yeah,
It's like, no, he had to become one of these things to kill the leader in the hopes that maybe that, because everything they've been doing is like on a wing and a prayer. Like, we don't know if this is going to work, but
well,
we're
and
fighting.
even these vampires now are like probably clueless, and they're just probably gonna die from not having a leader. So it's
Yeah.
like everyone's just gonna die, nothing will be accomplished. So.
Yeah, it's like nature wins again.
But yeah, this is a very good violent B movie in a time where there's not really B movies anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, this
And it's the best visualization of vampires I've ever seen. When you describe a vampire, this is what I think of.
well, yeah, there's no. I mean, this is like vampirism divorced of any, like, what do you call it?
Romantic subtext.
Yes,
or
exactly. Yeah,
anything.
these are just fucking animals.
Yeah. They're just there to kill you.
Yeah, you're just food. And like,
I will say this movie bears watching like 3 or 4 times, not in a row.
yeah,
Just come back to it a few times, because there is a lot more subtlety in this than it gets credit for.
yes,
It does, because almost everything pays off, which is good. They introduce the rules of horror in a way that actually seems more sensible. It's like, because no one's going to find, oh, there's a book in the library that they all read. Like, this is what we do. None of that happens here.
I mean, at some point they mentioned like, I think these are vampires, and like, what do we do about that? It's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. They don't even try to like, let's go to the church and get crucifixes.
No,
because there's no magic here. There's nothing magical at where you just have some kind of fast-acting disease that makes people into bloodthirsty monsters that only exist through blood. The only thing magical about them is they don't seem to die.
Yeah.
But unless they're violently destroyed. But even that requires, like, it's not a stake through the heart. It's just destruction of the engine that drives them, which is their brain.
And like, yeah, you can't isolate them to take them down, except for that one girl, but she kind of isolated herself. And they start out as being impossibly fast and strong, and they just like throughout the movie seem to like slow down for the plot of the movie. But
it could be that, or it could be like could be like a storytelling thing too. As the unknown becomes known, it does slow down. It's like, because the monster is always scary until you see it.
I mean, they do like kill like almost the whole town in like the first day, so maybe they're just like, hey, we don't have any food left.
Yeah,
maybe they're also starving. Yeah.
Or they're so engorged with food they can't. Because if you eat a lot, you're not going to go like, I'm going to have a giant steak and then a sword fight. Like that never. You're going to just throw up all over the ground. And like, okay, now I can fight. But yeah.
And there's that sequel out there somewhere, which I don't. Yeah. I guess yeah. Go to the comic books. Like I haven't even done that.
Should probably do that. I might do that after this. Should check them out. I like the movie, so
yeah.
Comic books not my favorite medium, but some things I will watch. But that's just more, I think, of a brain eye problem I have than just not liking comic books.
Yeah, well, I mean, you like the Preacher books. I think it's more of a subject matter thing, because there's kind of a way they do superhero stuff where it's like, oh yeah, this again. It's like, what am I gonna get out of this? But when they do more complicated, adult stories, comic books can be.
Oh yeah, Dark 90s was cool, like Preacher, Sandman. I really got into that, but that was all new then.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of like everyone's trying to out-dark everyone else.
Well, some probe into space containing the supercut of scenes from the imperfect collection of the movies that make up the Verhoeven Effect. Nathan, what one scene for this movie are we shoving into space?
Well, I like the no God scene, but that doesn't really give enough context. I think the tracking shot from either a drone or a high-mounted camera of the town being killed, that's what you're getting in this movie. That's what this movie is.
Yeah.
there's not a lot of quiet, reflective moments here where it's like, oh, okay, this thing pretty much. It's another one that hits the gas, and even though a lot of time is passing, you don't have a sense of it, which is good and bad. Because
Yeah.
it's 100-minute plus movie. It's like 114-minute runtime, but doesn't seems like a 90-minute movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, you kind of, like I said, this bears viewing 3 or 4 times. Once you get kind of in your head what the time passage is, it's like, oh yeah, these people's actions make more sense because they're just sitting around in the dark for for a week going crazy. And something.
You can find us at Letterboxd, username VHE, 1 out of 5 stars. What are we giving? 30 Days of Night.
I'm going to give this movie 5 stars because it's my favorite vampire movie.
Okay.
I know it probably doesn't deserve that, and maybe on your first viewing you'd be like, well, you're nuts. But like I said, watch it a lot, watch it a couple times, and you'll appreciate some of the nuance.
Yeah, like we say, it seems to be underappreciated. If you look at all the Metacritic scores and stuff like that, it's like they're calling it a mid-tier movie. So it's like, no, it's better than that. It's also missing stuff.
Oh yeah, it's not perfect.
And
not
then,
a perfect masterpiece.
we had to do some Verhoeven Effect to rip the subtlety out, but that doesn't mean it's not there. It's like we're not completely fabricating.
No, it's a movie I want to imagine deeper things like the story of his family and all that. It's like that does motivate these guys, but there's also, in the way this story is unfolding, no one's going to stop and like have that exposition.
Yeah.
Because they're constantly running from the devil. So it's like, yeah.
And and it's also like it's more of a great setup than you can take Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead and you can extrapolate social what do you call that it's comparing things that happen modern day with it's like, what the hell is that called?
Oh yeah, like extrapolate. No, there's a word for that.
Yeah, what's the thing that Star Trek was doing, where it's taking simple concepts of social,
the politics of the '60s, and it was that extrapolation. No, what is that called? Yeah, I know what you mean.
But it's like, like you can see like Dawn of the Dead. This is about consumerism. It's like, okay, this movie doesn't really. I don't know if this is like expressing any kind of like social concern or anything like that. It's just a neat movie. So.
It's just kind of in the same vein as The Thing.
Yeah.
It's cold. You don't know what the hell's going on. The characters don't know what the hell's going on. You have a better point of view, like something bad's coming and all this weird stuff's going on, but you ultimately don't know any more about this world than the characters do.
Yeah.
You know that, like, oh, this is a vampire movie. It's some kind of vampire thing, but it's so like crazily delivered. It's like, this is a vampire. It's like, oh yeah, this is actually what something like that would be, just a monster, because it's essentially like a super parasite. It's like a walking virus that's cruel. Some just self-replicating form of life that doesn't have an agenda. It's a little more than that, but a lot less than human. That's the one thing about this movie. All the humanity is drained out of the vampire. And because even Josh Hartnett, you could tell it was like, yeah, it's going away. It's just the only reason he didn't become a monster right away is he probably didn't take it in the neck. Because I think when he injected himself, unless he's really good, I think he just did an IM injection of that blood. He didn't put it right in a vein. So it was just slowly working into his body.
Oh, okay.
I think the reason some people turn quicker is all these veins and arteries run through here, and they're getting it right in the neck. And
I thought he said he turns that, like, Carter turns slowly from a bite. So I thought he did the injection because he thought it would go quicker.
Oh no, I think he did the injection in his arm because he didn't do a vein. It just went into the muscle because he wouldn't immediately just become a monster.
Okay.
If he was thinking that at all, I don't know, because a lot of people pick that apart. It's like the rate of change in this movie is inconsistent, and like, yeah, it is. Most people the guy that turned slowly got bit on the hand, on the arm by a girl. Everyone else got their throat ripped.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So it's going straight into your brain. Versus,
I think like John got bit in the leg, and he was like turned. We don't know when he turned, but it was like 4 days later, and he wasn't a monster, but when he got close to Eben, he's like, I'm hungry. Because he still, like, could talk and all that stuff. So,
Yeah, and being frozen, because I forget what the constant temperature was. It wasn't really said.
yeah.
You can assume at that time of year, because I looked it up, it's like average daytime like minus 17 or whatever. Like, that's lethal.
Yeah.
Unless you're completely clothed in a way. And these people are just laying under houses. But, yep. So that's 30 Days of Night.
We can find our podcast at verhoeveneffect.com. You can rate our podcast on whatever platform you choose. You can rate us whatever you want, but the only thing Alvin listens to is the highest rating. So remember, you control the algorithm. And the AI and all that stuff. It's all on you.
You must stop Skynet from taking over.
Put us at the #1 podcast to stop Skynet.
Yeah.
You can find us at Twitter at Verhoeven Effect. You can find us at Blue Sky Social at Verhoeven Effect. And you can find us at Facebook at Verhoeven Effect. And you can find us on YouTube at American Greed Factory. You can watch both this and that show live and unedited. So for the Verhoeven Effect podcast, I'm Conlon.
And I'm Nathan.
Goodbye, America.